That I did.
Visit notimetowait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Fiser.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fiser Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fiser Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FiserInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. For a second day, the Justice Department is questioning Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. President Trump was asked this morning if he's considered a pardon for her.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
it's something I haven't thought about. It's really something
recommended.
It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
Maxwell's attorney, David Marcus, says she has information to give.
Ghislaine has been treated unfairly for over 5 years now. If you looked up scapegoat in the dictionary, her face would be next to the dictionary definition of it.
President Trump was asked this morning the status of trade talks with a tariff target approaching.
August 1st is going to come, and we will have most of our deals finished, if not all. We haven't really had a lot of luck with Canada. I think Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariffs.
The president said there's a 50-50 chance of a trade deal with the European Union. He's right now on his way to Scotland.
He's expected to meet Prime Minister Keir Starmer to discuss trade issues. Protesters, including Ukrainian and Palestinian advocacy groups, will be demonstrating. A widespread security operation has been underway for weeks and is scaling up before his arrival. Huge transport planes carrying military hardware and Trump's helicopters have been spotted at local airports. Many roads and lanes have been sealed off and airspace restricted. Catherine Arms for CBS News, Bath, England.
Well, here at home, the heat dome that's made for a rough week in the Midwest and South settles in the East. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
We've got record high temperatures being forecast in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, and in New York City as well. Could even see some records on up into New England.
Former Congressman George Santos is due to report to serve his 7-year federal prison sentence for wire fraud and identity theft today. The New York Republican was ousted from Congress in 2023. Santos says he's been assigned to a minimum security facility he describes as a camp. Concession workers at Boston's Fenway Park could call a strike today, as we hear from CBS's Michael Wallace.
The union representing Aramark workers at the ballpark is demanding better pay.
Folks at the park are paid poverty wages.
Union President Carlos Aramayo.
They need to be respected, and if they're not respected, there will be a strike at Fenway Park.
Aramark says if there is a strike, it has contingency plans in place to make sure fans still get their food and drinks.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 56 points. The S&P is up 16. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And good morning. It's 9:03 at KIRO News Radio. I'm Scott Carty. Coming up, charges filed in Auburn for a May 19th shooting. But first, we check the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk, and Sully's sticking around to help out.
Yeah, we're putting in a lot of work right now, Scott. Most of my attention down in the Pierce County area, where we're still dealing with this semi that went off the road about 200 feet down the ditch and into the woods. 2 right lanes of southbound I-5 blocked as you get south of Highway 18, really kind of around a county line. 2-mile backup and about a 15 to 20-minute delay. Distraction slowdown coming the other direction, and 18 is jammed up driving right into this. Also looking at the closure of SR 410 between Bonnie Lake and Sumner. Eastbound remains blocked. Westbound 1 lane open out of Bonnie Lake. And we're still working with this right lane being blocked southbound 405 as you get down to 44th and Newcastle. We've got the right lane blocked there. It's about a 15-minute delay out of Bellevue heading down to Renton. And we're still working with the Revive I-5 slowing out of Snohomish County. Manageable at about 55 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Global Credit Union brings us this report where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning at 9:05. I'm Scott Carty. Charges have been filed for a May 19th shooting where more than 90 rounds were fired at Isaac Evans Park in Auburn. King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office believes it was gang-related. Earlier this week in Everett, 18-year-old Guillermo Sanchez Romero was arrested. He's charged with 2 counts of assault in the first degree with a firearm enhancement, 1 count of drive-by shooting, and 1 count of unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, in 2024, that suspect became prohibited from possessing firearms due to a felony conviction. He's also charged for rape in the 3rd degree pending in juvenile court. Sanchez Romero is in jail on $1 million bail. He'll be arraigned August 7th. Driving through Seattle this weekend is going to be a nightmare, as you know. Revive I-5 is underway. At 10 a.m., the Bite of Seattle is going to kick off at Seattle Center, and we have the Torchlight Parade Saturday night. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors looks at the impact of these events and other weekend closures.
If you drove through Seattle at all this past week, you're familiar with the unorthodox backups caused by Revive I-5. This project has 2 northbound lanes blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge through August 15th. During this closure, the express lanes are northbound only 24/7. Not only does this add congestion for northbound drivers, but southbound drivers are suffering without access to those express lanes. We saw huge backups on surface streets and other arterials as drivers, including myself, searched for new routes off the freeway. Even those lake bridges are dealing with added volume heading into Seattle. On top of adding more time to get here, be sure your tank is full. Use the bathroom before you hit the road. And if you have kids, bring some entertainment and plenty of snacks. In Ballard, the intersection of Leary Way and 15th Avenue Northwest closes beneath the Leary Way Bridge for concrete work. That gets underway tonight at 10 p.m. through 5 a.m. Monday. In Kent, southbound 167 will close between State Route 516 and South 277th Street starting tonight at midnight through 4 a.m. Monday while crews replace bridge joints and resurface the Green River Bridge. In Auburn, eastbound 18 will close between C Street and Auburn Way South starting tonight at 9 through 5 a.m. Monday for pavement work. And in Pierce County, northbound I-5 approaching DuPont will have closures for 2 nights at the Silicon DuPont Road from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. overnight Friday and Saturday for crews to remove temporary structures that were used to build the new overpass. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
As Nate says, make sure you use the bathroom before you go. And while you're out there, please do not throw cigarette butts out the window. South County Fire has battled 7 brush fires this week, many along I-5. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas now.
The latest happening yesterday at noon near Everett. Since it's so dry, they're asking folks to skip out on fire hazards. Don't toss your cigarettes, and no recreational fires either.
All right, your KIRO News Radio forecast. We are looking at some good conditions, but it's going to be a cloudy day today. We are hoping for a high of 70, although right now it's still just 57 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have some morning clouds, and it'll work its way up to 73 and sunny in the afternoon. Sunshine 77 Sunday, and Monday we're already looking ahead towards 80 degrees. As I said, it's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is
is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
In the winter order, I makes it hot.
Oh, yeah.
Getting jiggy with them.
Hands down, the greatest summer jingle of all time. No doubt. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to everyone. It is Fresh Fridays, July 25th, and Angela Poe Russell is filling in for Ursula today. Angela Poe Russell, what's up?
Oh, listen, good morning. I am coming in hot.
Yeah.
You know how that feeling when you have to go to work, but you know that work day, you're having a party or a field trip, like there's something special.
Man.
I think there's something special about this show.
Yeah. So you was coming in, you was ready?
We've been cooking.
Oh, man, it's about to cook. Chef is here. Good morning to you, Chef. And, of course, Nick always keeps the party going. So just so you all know, we got a packed show today. At 10 o'clock, Dr. Jason Johnson will join the show, MSNBC contributor. He will join the show at 10 o'clock, and we got so much more to talk about it. So let's get to it. Top stories of the day, brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
After years of court battles to keep their identities hidden, we now know the names of the 4 Seattle police officers who attended the January 6th Stop the Steal rally. Sergeant Jacob Brisky, Sergeant Scotty Bach, Detective Michael Settle, and Officer Jason Machione. They were among 6 Seattle police officers present at that rally in 2021. Now, the other 2 officers, a married couple, Alexander and Caitlin Rochelle Everett, were fired that same year after investigators found they trespassed at the Capitol during the insurrection. Seattle resident Sam Sioko had requested the names through public records. The officers sued to block him. Washington Supreme Court and later the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the city could release the names. So far, the Seattle Police Department hasn't said if the 4 officers still work there. Meanwhile, it seems at least one of the officers named, Sergeant Jacob Brisky, has caught the attention of a police watchdog group. According to Divest SPD and the Seattle Times, he's been named in at least 5 different civil suits, resulting in settlements. The cases involved either excessive force or wrongful arrest. Gee, when you look at these decisions, were they something you agreed with from the very beginning? Was this the right thing?
When you say the decisions,
by the courts to say, you know what, this can be released, the names.
Yeah. Today I started singing, "Oh, happy day." That's right. I sang that song. And here's why I sang it, is because I copied that. I sent it to Chef and and Chef said, "Hey, that's the first story we're talking about on the rundown this morning," to which I said, "Oh, yes, I'm glad." And then I have an archive of receipts of everything that and so I took this list of names and I'm going to keep them forever. You see, there's a lot of people who like to try to change history as we go along. There's a lot of people that try to want you to forget about these things. No, I want to forever be able to say on January 6th, on that day, 2021, these representatives from Seattle Police Department were there. Right? And there's a reason why they wanted to keep this a secret. For 4 years, they have been trying to hold it. What you want to keep it a secret for? Why? Do you want to keep it a secret the same way some folks put sheets over their face to hide their face? The same reason why people go to cover their faces when they're in groups of people? Hey, stand on it.
Yeah. Well,
stand on it.
I think some of them, the argument was like, because we don't know that 2 of them were charged with trespassing. The others weren't charged with a crime that day.
They were husband and wife.
Yeah, so they were there. So they argue, well, if I didn't commit a crime that day, why does it have to be public? But this was a public records poll, so it went that way. To me, what I think is interesting, it does give us the opportunity to dive into the backgrounds and see if there is some kind of pattern. And it seems this watchdog group really went into that. And Chef, I want to bring you into this because one of them, now some of these go back many years, some a little more recent, but one of them, this is Sergeant Jason Brisky. And again, this was according to Divest SPD, this watchdog group. They go back to 2006 and this officer going to a Boys and Girls Club. And you want to take it from there? Because I thought you explained it. Oh, you're not? Okay, never mind. I will do it. So basically, he gets called to the Boys and Girls Club. The matter had been de-escalated. He ended up arresting a youth volunteer and charged him with contempt of a cop. And the city had to settle this case for $185,000. Apparently, this youth volunteer was like their youth of the year. And I don't know if you're aware of that, but that means they have a long relationship, good reputation, and a charge of contempt of a cop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that there's some deep dives on them as cops, and I got to tell you, I was less concerned about whatever their past is.
You're not really concerned about that as much.
I'm not at all, right? Like if you tell me, oh, they're part of this or they're part of this civil suit, I'm not. All I'm concerned with, I am happy now that I know. And sometimes when you know how the young kids say, they put the little things out there, the if you know, you know. That's what this is. Okay. I am glad to know exactly who it was.
And now we all know.
Yep.
Okay, Vice President J.D. Vance taking some shots at Microsoft, calling into question its hiring practices. I'll explain more in a moment. While Microsoft has laid off 15,000 people since May, CEO Satya Nadella acknowledged in a memo to employees that, quote, they are thriving. During the first 3 months of the year, the company reported more than $70 billion in revenue with more than $25 billion in profit. Here's more of what he had to say, and I'm going to quote so you can judge for yourself.
Yeah.
He says, our overall headcount is relatively unchanged, and some of the talent and expertise in our industry and at Microsoft is being recognized and rewarded at levels never seen before. And yet, at the same time, we've undergone layoffs. This is the enigma of success in an industry that has no franchise value. Progress isn't linear. It's dynamic, sometimes dissonant, and always demanding. But it's also a new opportunity for us to shape, lead through, and have greater impact than ever before. Does that explain? Did that make sense?
Sure. I mean, yeah, it definitely made sense.
Well, help me understand because I don't.
I sat there, and if I were an employee of Microsoft, or if I was one of those that have been unfortunately laid off, I would be scratching my head, pounding my hand on the table and just asking, what is going on? And I'm saying that because after seeing the statement by the CEO who says that the company's mass layoffs are weighing heavily on me. Now, keep in mind, 15,000 people
since May, right?
Have been laid off. That's just this year alone. And they also revealed $80 billion in an investment into AI. And also, by the way, the first quarter of the year, $25 billion in profit. I said profit. And oh, by the way, when you look at the other news and you see it has been reported that there will be no reduction in employees over in India.
It's the enigma of success.
And I'll tell you what this did for me. It made me change my stance on what you're going to talk about after this.
Okay, so we'll put a pause there because I want to bring in J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance, into the conversation. He torched Microsoft and other tech companies for these layoffs while telling the government that they're desperate for immigrant workers.
You see some big tech companies where they'll lay off 9,000 workers and then they'll apply for a bunch of overseas visas. And I sort of wonder, that doesn't totally make sense.
Vance, appearing on a panel at the Winning the AI Race Summit in D.C., didn't stop there.
I don't want companies to fire 9,000 American workers and then to go and say, we can't find workers here in America. That's a story.
Wait a minute.
I know it just happened.
Wait a minute.
Pigs are flying.
Y'all got me agreeing with J.D. Vance today?
Pretty much.
Me and J.D. Vance on the same page? You know what they say about a broke clock? It's right twice a day. Man. Hey, JD, listen, applause. Everything that JD Vance just said, I am 100% with him. Again, let me say again, I think, have you noticed that $1 billion really has it's thrown around so much? I think we really lose sight of about how much $1 billion is.
Yes.
Can I always give
Break
this?
it down.
Here
Break
we
it
go.
down.
1 billion seconds ago was 1994.
Stop.
1 billion seconds ago. So I'm trying to put it like Microsoft made $25 billion in profit the first quarter of the year. I'm just, me and JD Vance on the same page. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, and this is, while I do think we have lost some sense of decorum when it comes to our elected officials, sometimes there are moments when you have to call a thing. And I think his response and calling it BS was spot on. Yep. Let's get to our next top story.
Now, this is,
I know you're ready for this.
This has me changing my stance.
All right, let me set this up for you. Starbucks corporate workers are now protesting the latest return to office mandate from CEO Brian Niccol. Niccol just told corporate employees they'll now be required to work 4 days a week in the office, up from 3. And crucially, team managers are now expected to relocate to Seattle or Toronto or take a buyout. Those voluntary exit packages reportedly range from $20,000 to $100,000, depending on seniority. Not surprisingly, some longtime employees aren't happy. Flyers have popped up inside elevators at Starbucks headquarters in Seattle, signed by a group calling itself Partners for the Preservation of Starbucks Culture, Mission, and Values. The flyers call out cost-cutting bonuses for executives, Niccol's leadership, the RTO order, that's the return to office order, and changes in company culture. Some believe the company is intentionally pushing people to quit rather than lay them off, avoiding severance and benefits payouts. CEO Niccol insists this is about reviving Starbucks in-office culture, saying, "We do our best work when we're together. We're driving significant change while staying true to our core values." All of this comes just months after Starbucks laid off 1,100 corporate workers. Gee, what has been on your heart that you wanted to share?
There's a lot of you that listen to our show that work from home. And every time this topic comes up, you guys get mad at me. And I understand, because I have been a proponent of get your butt to work. Collaboration is so much more important. Companies can be better. You will be better, right, from it. But after talking about Microsoft, which we just did, it bothers me to see companies like Microsoft make all of this profit, do so well right now, and still lay people off, right? Even through the pandemic, come on now. So to which I say, for people, I don't even like to say the words work-life balance, but you know what? If you can get your work done, I'm changing, because what I'm saying is that companies, the bigger companies, because I think there's a difference, right? And Chef brought this up earlier. There's a difference between some of these companies that are just doing this and making crazy profit. There's also a difference in government entities that are scared to face these unions, and so they're not making their employees come back to work. There's a difference, right? But for these huge companies that's requiring you to come back, they don't care any more or less. If the folks want to get their work done from home, then so be it. And yes, I am flip-flopping. I am changing. The Microsoft stuff has made me change.
And let me make sure I understand this. So basically, you feel like they aren't looking out for them, so the people might as well get their work-life balance.
You might as well get your life together,
because they went back to work and they did their thing and it didn't.
Okay, no, being serious. Help me understand how companies can rake in billions in dollars of profit and still lay people off. Like we good with that? Like that don't make anybody just stop for a second? Well, what type of value do we have here?
Yeah, and here's what's wild. I decided to do what, you call them the deep dives. I decided to do one myself. There was this report from the Economic Policy Institute. This was 5 years ago, G.
Come on.
And they looked into this H-1B visa thing. And what they found is that 60%, 60 of all H-1B jobs are assigned wages lower than the local median wage.
Okay.
17 to 34% lower if they were in computer occupations. Wow. This was Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart, Google, Apple, IBM. That was 2020, 5 years ago. So, there have been proposals that if you're going to do the visa program, pay them the same. They're not motivated. Then you're not motivated to get a foreign worker because it's cheaper. Right?
I did a little deep dive on worldhealth.net.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys want to hear this, but here you go.
I always do. Come on.
It talked about remote work, how it could be destroying your metabolism. So check this out. Some of y'all might not like these stats. So no early morning commutes, obviously, if you work from home. No lining up at Starbucks, no dressing up or anything like that. You just work from home. So a lot of sedentary lifestyle. It has contributed to 41% weight gain if you are working from home. It doubles your risk for diabetes if you work from home. It raises your cortisol levels. And the reason being is because your body doesn't know when it is shut off, when it is not working. So one of the things that I've also been guilty of is talking about how people should always answer their emails if you're trying to work and work hard. Guys, I think I got to just rethink a lot of things. But again, so while I will argue on a side for people being able to work from home, just remember sometimes there can be an impact on your body from working from home.
Well said.
Okay. Coming up at 9:47, we need to talk about how Vegas is doomed. Question for you. Do you look at Vegas the same as you used to? Coming up next, a King County prosecutor pauses youth felony diversion. And guess what? Angela, it's another topic that I'm changing my stance on. I don't know what's going on today. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula, it is Angela Paul Russell.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Over the last year, you are constantly hearing me talk about Urbanize. You want to know why? It's because I love it. You see me here. I'm wearing all the different glasses every single day because when you walk into that place, you realize that nothing other optical shop is even close to being like Urbanize. Urbanize is truly special to me and to so many. They have a vast selection of eyewear from high brands to everyday brands. They really have something for everyone. Go in and see my good friend, Dr. Dana, and her staff. Her expert eyewear specialists, they will find you the perfect fit. Perfect fit for your face shape. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got a fat face, and it took a lot to help me. So these folks right here, they'll help you with your style, your budget. I promise you it's special. Go check them out and tell them G. Scott sent you. Urbanize are experts at working with insurance. See what they can do for you. Urbanize in the heart of Kirkland Urban, myurbanize.com.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years at gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Now is your time to get into a new DR Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select red tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. This week, 4-time Grammy winner and jazz legend Stanley Clarke returns to Jazz Alley, July 24th through 27th. 6 shows of pure bass brilliance, electric, acoustic, and unforgettable. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 9:30. I'm Scott Carty at KIRO Newsradio. Before leaving for Scotland, President Trump told reporters he hasn't thought about a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell, the former partner of Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence and is being interviewed by the Department of Justice again today. Trump also deflected questions about the Wall Street Journal reports that Trump had sent Epstein a bawdy message for his 50th birthday. CBS News' Aaron Navarro has more from the White House.
Acknowledged that his name may have been in there, but it may have just been written by someone else, saying, quote, that's happened a lot. He also talked a bit about Epstein, but tried to deflect, saying that he, quote, has nothing to do with this guy.
As for hopes of a ceasefire in the Middle East, talks between Israel and Hamas have broken down. Israel says it will let food aid to be dropped into Gaza. Perhaps you've seen videos and pictures of starving people circulating online. For the children in Gaza, limited access to actual aid and to those in need the most in war-torn territory is hampering would-be efforts by UNICEF. Joe English of UNICEF, headquartered in New York.
Ready-to-use therapeutic food, which is what we deliver, is a fortified peanut paste, which is designed for use with children who are specifically suffering from severe acute malnutrition. We use this all around the world. It's incredible. It's a miracle food because you can give it to a child who is severely malnourished and you watch them, over the days come back to life. But part of that is that it's not just a one-off delivery. It is a course of medication almost.
Here in Seattle, for the first time ever, the Seafare Torchlight Parade is going to wind along the new Seattle waterfront Saturday night. Seafare CEO Emily Cantrell spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
So for 75 years, dating back to 1950, the parade has happened on 4th Avenue, and essentially that has divided the city in half. And so for the first time, we're really excited to be down here on the waterfront, where not only is it picturesque, but we get to bring the community together along this beautiful parade route.
And from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, southbound I-5 at 375th, crews are still trying to recover the semi off the road from last night. And we're seeing a lot of heavy congestion as you make your way from the West Seattle Bridge, getting onto I-5 to get northbound into the city. Of course, northbound 5 is reduced to 2 lanes at the Ship Canal Bridge, so that is wreaking havoc for your commute. And it is looking pretty good, actually, across both bridges, remarkably so. Northbound and southbound 405 through Kennydale, both very heavy. And you are going to see lots of slowdowns as you approach Renton. Also down in Tacoma, near Lakeland South, very, very heavy traffic, southbound 5, making your way into the city. Everett to Seattle right now, 56 minutes, and Renton to Seattle, 26 minutes. Your traffic is brought to you by Kia of Everett. Over 400 tariff-free new Kias are available now at Kia of Everett with easy lease and financing options. Experience simple, easy fun at Kia of Everett today. Your KIRO News Radio forecast, sunny and 70 tomorrow, but today, cloudy and 70. We will continue to see the sunny conditions make your way through the weekend, inching up a little bit more on Sunday to 77 degrees, and by Monday, we should be seeing 80 degrees. Right now, it's only 57 in Seattle. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Coming up in 12 minutes, they say Vegas right now, their tourism is in trouble. If you could give one reason as to why that is happening, what would it be? Well, we'll talk about that in 12 minutes. But right now, there's a big shakeup happening with juvenile justice in King County right now. Prosecutor Lisa Mannion announced juvenile felony cases will no longer be referred to restorative community pathways. That's the $16 million program meant to keep kids out of detention by placing them into community-led alternatives instead. Why the reversal? A new analysis by Seattle U found that 53% of kids referred to RCP for felonies committed crimes again within 2 years. For misdemeanor cases, the rate was 37%. The Seattle Times and KUOW report that 1,200 youth offenders have been referred to RCP since 2021. State law requires diversion for most juvenile misdemeanors, and those cases will still be referred to RCP. But felonies will be directed court-supervised diversion programs instead of community diversion, and that's only if there's capacity to handle them. What's RCP's response? Well, program coordinator Jasmine Vale tells KUOW recidivism is one data point, but it's not the whole story. Navigator Johnny Fett added, "We work around the clock. We meet youth where they're at on weekends, after hours, and in the community. That kind of flexibility matters." Angela Poe Russell, what you got?
Well, I have questions before I land the plane on this one. I guess what I'm curious about is the alternative. So if RCP is not there, they're saying they have other diversion programs. I don't know what those look like. But here's the bottom line. We can't retreat from this method. And here's why. If we know for a fact, the data is there, that if we just let juveniles go through the traditional system, they will get worse and worse and eventually be a major public safety threat. I would argue that 50%, they're saying do it again. Well, 50% didn't. I mean, and here's the deal. If you have a problem with this one particular program, then change programs. Find a different provider if that's the issue. See what's not working. But it would be a huge mistake. It would be a huge tragedy for all of us in terms of our public safety to not do something to help the kids. Because so many of them are dealing with trauma. We know there's a connection to stuff that happens at home to them committing crimes. If we don't have programs in place that try to address the root causes and, of course, deliver justice. I'm not suggesting that if a kid is out with a gun that they just go to some diversion program and don't have consequences. But I'm saying doing the traditional route of just putting them in jail will make it worse. Right. It will. Trust me, the data is there on that.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question back to you. I just want to see where you're at on this. They're basically saying the misdemeanor, right, juvenile cases, those can get referred to community-led diversion programs. They're saying the felony ones will be directed to court-supervised diversion programs. Are you okay with that?
I would have to know more about what those court-supervised diversion program is. The diversion just putting you in jail and that's it? The problem in this country is that we put people in jail, treat them less than human, and then expect them to act human when they get out. And to be clear, I am not suggesting, because I am just as frustrated with crime, and especially juveniles committing crime, as much as you all are. I also have to think about this logically, in that 94% of people who go to jail will get out. They will get out. And how do we want them to be when they get out? Mm-hmm. If we don't put some kind of program, especially for young minds that are still developing, then I'm afraid of what they'll become.
Right.
How do you feel?
So here's a topic that I'm starting to change on.
Oh, did I change your mind? Or
No.
Okay.
You didn't change. So I have been a very strong advocate of community-led diversion programs. I'm still an advocate for community-led diversion programs. However, my stance is going to change where I only am going to ride with the misdemeanors. I'm only going to ride with the misdemeanors. And let me tell you, I'll tell you simply why. When I think about young men like Amar Murphy Payne, who, oh, by the way, we still don't know who killed that young man. We don't know anything. I am sick and tired of coming in on Mondays, because it seems like Mondays is the time that it happens, of talking about these violent crimes that happen at the hands of a lot of young teens, and this happens. So why did we get such an increase? Now, of course, we've talked about the numbers have gone down here in King County and Seattle. We talked about that already. But for me, enough has been enough, meaning I don't feel in my heart that some of these young teens, and oh, by the way, trauma in the homes? Yeah, I understand that. I mean, everybody is subjective. Everybody has had their traumas to what things have had, where things have led to.
And let me just insert, while we're, and as a state, by policy, encouraging people to stay in those toxic homes so they can be with their families.
Yeah. So, and I'm tired of talking about people coming out. We hear about them. Oh, they committed crime. Like you hear about somebody committed a violent crime when they're 20 or 21, and then you go to find out about their past. Well, they did this when they were 17. They did this when they were 16. So I'm going to put a hard line in the sand from where I'm coming from. This doesn't mean that I don't believe that some of these community-led diversion programs aren't doing the best that they can, because I believe that they are. However, my line is going to be misdemeanor, cool. Felonies, and especially violent crimes? Oh, no. We need to get tougher on that. I'm sorry. Okay. And especially because I also feel in my heart that some of these young men kind of, when they go into this, they know these stories, they hear these stories, and they know, okay, hey, if you fall out of the window, there's this RCP mattress program that's going to be for you to kind of soften your fall. So sometimes they're going into that knowing like, well, I'm a teen, and then they got the diversion programs. So worst case scenario, if they find out it was me, I kind of got some help. Nah, man, I want consequences. I want some of the same reasons. I'm going back to some of the reasons why people don't commit some of this dumb stuff, because they know the consequences are going to happen.
Okay, since you're taking that hard line, can I get your support around this?
Come on.
Something I'm really passionate about right now. I'll start with a question.
Yep.
I'm asking all of you, how many programs right now exist for boys? Programs that just, from when they're young, mentor boys, I don't know, teach them computer. I would love to know what programs are out there for boys. I've had girls, and I've been able to find all kinds of programs for my girls. And I just want to know what's out there for boys. Because statistically, boys are struggling right now. Boys are struggling. And I want to know what are we going to do? If we're saying we're going to draw a hard line on this end, what are we going to do on the front end to be there? I love that there's a program in Spokane, a diversion program called RISE. And they actually are embedded in the school. and the counselors are there to kind of see what the pain points are for the kids and be a place of prevention. So I just love it. I would love to just tell it, 888-973-5476. What programs are out there for boys?
That's a great question, and there for sure needs to be more. Great question. Coming up next, Vegas tourism is in trouble. Text in one reason why you think that is. We'll talk about it next. Gee and Ursula with Angela Poe Russell.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
A big story developing this morning.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Huge impacts for Boeing and Boeing workers.
The office, the gym, anywhere.
Water, like taxes, goes all the way down to the bottom, so it'll either come out of the employee's paycheck or the lack of raise.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
I've got to get a new car, and things are crazy right now. 1 minute costs are up, the next minute it's something new.
Go to Subaru Puyallup. Their stress-free promises never changed. Through natural disasters, supply hiccups, you name it.
So they're still holding today's prices?
Yeah, they have over 300 Subarus still at current rates and guaranteed stress-free pricing and trade-ins. You should get in now.
I really need to swing by there. Want to go with?
Let's go.
Secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Hartley and Brent Wilcox talking about Wilcox Family Farms.
Dad, I've really enjoyed all the community events we've been doing. One question I get asked a lot is, how long has our family had the farm? When I tell them since 1909, they're surprised. Why do you think that is?
I imagine it's because that's a long time, and many farms have been bought by big corporations that put profits first.
Growing up on the farm, I feel like we put people and the well-being of our hens first.
We do, and as you know, free-range and mobile pasture hens have organic soil to forage and do what they naturally would do. This takes more time and money, but it's the right thing to do. It's better for the hens and makes for great tasting eggs.
I agree. Here is Mike to tell you where you can find locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs.
For fresh, local, pasture-raised, omega-3, hard-boiled, and other fresh eggs, choose Wilcox Family Farms. Look for Wilcox eggs at Markets of Choice, Whole Foods, and metropolitan markets. Wilcox Family Farms.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X-Fi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
You just invested in new gutter guards to keep the junk out. So why are they clogged with moss and gunk? Well, here's the missing link between just any gutter guards and ones that actually work. You see, most gutter guards, sure, they stop leaves, but they don't stop what grows on them. Moss, algae, grime, they take over, turning your new gutter guards into a plugged, soggy mess. And that's where Moss Eater's gutter guards come in. They're changing the game. It's the only gutter guard with copper-infused tech. That means moss, algae, and gunk won't grow on it. It's like having a built-in Moss Eater on your home. And look, at Moss Eaters, we're not just going to install your guards and then let you fend for yourself. No, we're going to maintain your roof, too. Because a clean roof and clog-free gutters means no water, no leaks, and no stress. Get the only gutter guard that truly fights back. Call Moss Eaters at 206-531-7800 or visit mosseaters.com today. That's 206-531-7800 or online at mosseaters.com.
So why don't you speed?
I've had one too many close calls on the road, and then I learned the facts.
It's dangerous to drive too fast.
It's true. 1 in 3 fatal crashes involve speeding.
Most people try to be safe, but speeding is dangerous.
You know, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop.
The faster you drive, the harder you'd hit someone. Slower speeds save lives.
Please drive the speed limit so everyone is safe. Learn more at togetherwegetthere.com.
Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's morning news all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
Oh, come on, Nick. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Little Nas in there?
Yes. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, Dr. Jason Johnson will join the show. Some of you know you need to go refill on your beverage because Dr. Johnson, you never know where it's going. Question, is Vegas dying? If you look at the numbers, it sure looks that way. Here is a Vegas insider and what he has to say.
The numbers are in and they absolutely suck. Tourism is down 6.5% year over year. Do you remember what happened in 2008? All it took was 15% to have this house of cards completely crumble. So we're at 6.5 now. And I've got a few reasons on why that could be. People are tired of getting ripped off. Let's talk about it. $17 cocktails. That's actually the cheap cocktail. By the pool, you're going to pay $30. And in a nice place, you're going to pay $24, $25, and that's not before you add the ice cube and you smoke it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's awesome, but it's a little bit expensive, don't you think? $55 resort fees, $80 breakfast, $26 water bottles at the Aria. Now, I understand you're going to Las Vegas to have the luxury experience, but you used to receive that without the high price. You used to be treated like a king for kind of bottom dollar.
So, you heard what he had to say. International arrivals to Vegas have dropped 9%. Visitors from Canada are down 20% as well. So, participation. You all text in 888-973-5476. One reason that you believe tourism is down in Vegas, starting with you, Angela.
One reason I believe tourism is down, I mean, the Canada piece, yes, I think that's happening to a lot of U.S. cities. Yeah. But I think overall, I mean, what's the income, disposable income? And if you're not feeling very confident about where things are at, you don't want to just go blow money in Vegas.
Right.
Because you go there to blow money.
Well, okay. Good stuff. Good stuff like that. Chef, one reason.
Vegas is awful. It is an entirely constructed alternate reality that is utterly fake, and it is all about money. I have no desire to go there because I know that my entire experience is based on whether I have money or I'm a VIP, and because I'm a regular dude, I don't want to go see a fake freaking Eiffel Tower. No thanks.
Okay. Nick, brother Nick, one reason.
You know, aside from sports betting, which I think a lot of people nowadays in this country can do that, so you don't need to go to a casino. There's a lot less people gambling these days. You know, money's tight and things are getting more expensive. There's less reason for people to go out and be frivolous and play games and, you know, more often than not lose their money. It seems, it seems it's logical you lose your money more often than when you go to the casino, and there's less people gambling right now.
Love that, Nick. Hey, Vegas used to be for everybody, right? Watch this. Who remembers going to Vegas because, hey, I'm going to go with my friends and they're going to have $9.99 or $6.99 buffets, right? You go get some steak and eggs and all that. You go get some inexpensive food there. You go to the casino, but they had high roller rooms. Yeah, that's where the rich people go. And they also had the tables. I remember when I lived in Vegas, they had the $3 tables. They had to $5 tables. Vegas used to be for everybody. Now it has become way too expensive. Good for Vegas and good for tourism being down because like Chef said, why do you want to go to a place and pay? And by the way, there are times you have to pay $20-something for a water bottle. If you buy the pool.
Really?
Yes. If you buy the pool, some of the air quotes top pools there, yes, you're paying $35, $40 for a drink. You want to go to Dre's? You want to you know what? I want to experience what it's like because I heard 2 Chainz and I heard Future is going to be performing at Dre's. So, right? Okay, me and my significant other and our friends, 4 of us, we want to go to Dre's. Hey, we want to get a table. How much to get a table? Oh, that's going to be $3,000.
No.
Right? And wait a minute. Are you ready for this? That's going to be $3,000. And then so they come through, they pour your drinks real fast. So your drinks go really fast. And then after like an hour and a half, you don't want to spend more money because you're like, I just want to enjoy the show.
There's a minimum.
There's another party that's going to be coming. And so your time is here for 90 minutes or 2 hours. It's a whole game.
Yeah.
So good for Vegas and tourism being down.
All right. Well, you know what? The way I see it, it's symbolic of excess. And I don't know if people are feeling excess, especially if they're getting less.
Right. I like what Nick had to say. There used to be a time that you go to Vegas and you're getting ready to go and Chef's like, hey, G, you're going to Vegas? Hey, while you're there, can you place a bet on this sports team? Or Nick would say, hey, while you're there, help me out with a bet. Now, you don't have to leave. You don't have to go to Vegas to bet anymore.
That's a great point.
Hey,
that's a great point.
Dr. Jason Johnson is going to join the show. If you got one question of him, ask it. 888-973-5476. We get a chance, we'll ask him a question. I know Angela and myself, we have plenty of them for him. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula with Angela Poe Russell.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking research in immunotherapy. It reprograms a child's own T cells to hunt down and destroy cancer. It's hope, powered by science. But here's the truth. Pediatric cancer research is drastically underfunded. That's why Safeway is stepping up, and you can too. G. Scott here asking you to say yes to donating to Immunoheroes next time you're at Safeway checkout. Together, we can help fight cancer for all kidkind.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Fiser.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
If you're traveling through the SCA airport this summer, use the new Security Checkpoint 1 at the south end of baggage claim. Just one of the many upgrade SCA projects taking your airport from now to wow. Stay up to date on all airport projects by following @FlySEA.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The heat dome that's baked much of the Midwest and South this week is slamming the Northeast. The heat index could hit 100 today in New York City. CBS's Rob Marciano is at a public pool just to the north in Yonkers.
The core of that extreme heat will be in the Northeast today, so pools like this one will be in high demand before a cool front comes through tonight. But where it's not going to cool down into next week is the Mid-South and the Southeast.
It's heading into the mid-90s in Boston, where hundreds of concession workers at historic Fenway Park have just gone on strike. CBS News Boston reporter Penny Commit.
Fenway's concession workers say they make a trip to the park, not just a ball game, but an experience. And that experience, according to the union, is being threatened by automation. Newly installed self-checkout alcohol kiosks have already cost at least a dozen jobs, they say, and it cuts off workers' interactions with fans, directly impacting their tips.
Well, for a second day, the Deputy Attorney General is questioning Jeffrey Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. Her attorney says,
"We're grateful for this opportunity to finally be able to say what really happened."
CBS's Scott McFarland.
Maxwell is pushing for leniency and has been for some time. She's said that there's more she could reveal about the case and didn't have an opportunity to during her criminal proceedings.
President Trump said today he hasn't thought about pardoning Maxwell, and he expressed disappointment at stalled Gaza talks, saying it seems Hamas wants to die. Joe English of UNICEF says getting aid to civilians in Gaza is crucial now.
Families, children, parents have to know that it's not going to just arrive today, but arrive tomorrow and the next day, so that they can begin to rebuild their lives. Ultimately, we have to see a ceasefire, and the UN has to be allowed to do its job.
Former Congressman George Santos begins serving his federal prison sentence for wire fraud and identity theft today. The New York Republican was ousted from Congress in 2023. Trial attorney Michelle Thomas says the judge sent a strong message with a 7-year sentence.
Your fraudulent activity and behaviors can and will catch up to you, that you are not above the law in this instance. And I think he's serving notice to any other political candidates or hopefuls out there that you need to proceed with integrity.
At Hulk Hogan's wrestling shop in Orlando, fans of the larger-than-life figure for which the place is named have turned out to mourn.
Sad to see him go. This thing, Hulk Hogan, is just iconic.
Oh, I wanted to cry. That was like my icon as growing up as a kid.
Hulk Hogan died yesterday at 71. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 122 points. The S&P is up 24. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
A flight bound for Seattle has turned around. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will join me live in a moment, but first from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk, 2 right lanes are closed still on southbound 5 near South 375th, right by Wild Waves. We'll have more on that in a minute. As a result, Federal Way to Tacoma is 33 minutes. Alderwood to South Center on 405 is now 70 minutes. And southbound 5 from Linwood to Seattle, usually 18, but it's up to 50 right now. And Tacoma to Seattle, 50 minutes. We will get you updated on that scene in the Federal Way area in just a moment. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Good morning, I'm Scott Carty. Breaking news of a Virgin Atlantic Airways flight from London to Seattle forced to turn around. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live.
Yeah, Scott, just a little bit ago, Virgin Atlantic Airways Flight 105 from Heathrow in London to SeaTac turned around just north of Scotland and headed to Manchester, England, where it appeared to have landed just moments ago. No word so far on why that flight diverted. This is a large twin-engine jet with an Airbus A330. We're looking into why this happened and why, if any mechanical issue caused that plane to turn around, what they experienced mid-flight. A spokesperson for the airline tells me they went to Manchester due to air traffic control restrictions. They also say the safety and security of their customers and crew is always a top priority. The flight is supposed to resume on a different plane, they say, in just a matter of an hour or two. Again, a developing story we're following closely this morning.
Thank you, Luke. More about that wild scene on southbound 5 past Wild Waves. Crews are trying to recover a semi-truck full of soda that went 200 feet off the road and into a ditch.
It was just the one semi involved, and obviously you see by some of the pictures on social media, it went off the roadway.
The driver suffered minor injuries, and you can see those pictures right now at mynorthwest.com. Seattle Mariners legend Ichiro Suzuki is getting inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this weekend in Cooperstown, New York. KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger is there.
If you've never been inside, they have the monuments on the first floor of the museum. It's the last place you visit before you leave. And up there you see the Griffey, you see the Martinez, you see Randy Johnson. Mm-hmm. They say it says Mariners on the plaque, so we'll take it. And over on one of the plaques, it's just an empty spot that Ichiro has already signed his autograph on.
A big day. It will be on Sunday when Ichiro gets inducted. And mark your calendars for the Seahawks. They'll be showing off their new unis in prime time against the Rams at Lumen Field on December 18th. New uniforms, you may be asking? Well, as part of the NFL Rivalries program, Seattle's uniforms will debut that night, and you can catch a sneak peek of those new uniform designs on August 28th. Your KIRO News Radio forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. It's a cloudy Friday, hopefully reaching a high of 70 today. We'll get back to our sunny selves for the weekend with sunshine and 73 degrees on Saturday for the Torchlight Parade that evening. Sunny and 77 on Sunday and then 80 on Monday. It's still just 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula. Good morning, Angela. Are you having a good time so far this morning?
I'm having a wonderful time.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, I need a favor from you, though, Angela. I was not here on Wednesday. Much needed day off. On that day off, you all talked about someone suing the Blue Angels. I guess something about their cat.
Yes.
So I don't know anything about this story. Now I've heard that they were doing interviews. So coming up next, can you set that up for me? I want to hear it for myself, and then I'll be able to weigh in on it.
Okay, that's awesome because you don't have any bias yet. You're just here. Yeah, so we'll get G's perspective.
Hey, so we'll do that. But right now, as we say, let's get it.
What's new at 10?
Epstein. It's the story that keeps on giving. Let's bring in Dr. Jason Johnson, who is an MSNBC contributor and professor at Morgan State. Also, host A Word with Jason Johnson as his podcast. Good morning, Dr. Johnson.
Good morning, G. You know what? I just want to let everybody know I love you all so much that I'm doing this in the middle of Comic-Con. I just want you to know that. I'm in the streets full of cosplayers, but this show is this important to me. And your friendship matters so much that I'm here. I just want to let you know that.
We're extremely grateful. Let's do this. Of all the news that is going on the national level, what is the topic that you are talking about the most amongst the people, the insiders, and all?
I'd say the biggest thing is probably the Epstein list and people trying to figure out what difference it actually makes, if it makes a difference one way or another. And I fall squarely in the camp of it don't matter. It doesn't matter because the only value, people are like, oh my gosh, this is a terrible day for Trump, and people are upset, and his own MAGA people. If no one is going to change their vote, and I don't just mean like regular voters. I mean, if members of Congress are going to continue to do whatever it is that Donald Trump wants them to do, who cares about the Epstein list? Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, most of it's already baked into the cake.
Fair. The thing is, though, you mentioned the MAGA people that are saying, hey, we want to get this released. But I'm sitting here right in front of me looking at Fox News, and they're talking about Kamala Harris. They're not even talking about Epstein.
Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, I'm talking about the number of, conservative MAGA people who are actually angry and disappointed at this, the Nick Fuentes and the Tucker Carlson types, but the voters themselves, right? The people who live in most of these echo chambers of Fox News and everything else like that, they're not hearing about it, or they don't care, or they've been told that it's all AI. Look, you could have a video of Donald Trump having an orgy with like underage trans children, and most MAGA people wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. They'd say it was fake. You can have all the letters and all the pictures of him and these people that you want. So I think it's one of those things where there is a tendency on the part of the national press to want an easy way out. They want a salacious story that's going to, quote unquote, save us from Donald Trump. But nothing will save us from Donald Trump other than disaster, history, and possibly voting.
Okay, so, Dr. Johnson, why? Why won't anything save us from Donald Trump? Why won't all of this stuff? Why will Congress constantly vote exactly how he wants to? Why does Donald Trump have such a grip? Like when you think grip, vice grip on the people. How? Why?
Yeah, he's got an 80s G.I. Joe action figure kung fu grip on Congress. Well, it's a combination. One, you got to remember, 40-some% of these people agree with him. Right? Like, we keep wanting to turn these folks into victims. We keep wanting to say, oh, they're afraid of... No, they agree with him. They agree with him on most of the things that he's doing, and the things that he does that they don't like, they just hope that they won't suffer.
Okay.
Right? So that's how you can have Susan Murkowski saying, I hated the bill, but he gave me a carve-out for my own constituents, and then he took the carve-out in the final bill. Well, there you go, Lucy in the football.
Okay, let's slow down. Happening. And by the way, you are listening to Dr. Jason Johnson here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Dr. Johnson hosts his home podcast, A Word with Jason Johnson. Okay, let's slowly go through this on things that 40% you're saying agree with. Let's go with what ICE is doing in this country with mass deportation. You think 40% agree with that?
Absolutely. They agree with it in concept, not execution. So if you do a poll and you ask people, hey, do you agree with deporting people who are in the country not legally? The vast majority of Americans, and certainly a vast majority of Republicans, will say, yes, of course I agree with that, right? So there you go. Now, what they don't agree with, right, and this is only some, they don't agree with the idea of revoking people who are here legally and then deporting them, which is what's been happening. People who had statuses where they were legally allowed to stay are finding out those statuses are being revoked, or their process of staying here is being delayed or rescinded, and then they're getting pulled out of the country. People don't like that. But if you just ask them generically, do you like the idea of aggressively removing people from the country who aren't citizens? Everybody says yes. And that's the problem. The vast majority of the people who voted for him think that the worst parts of his policies just won't apply to them. So they're willing to go along with it because they thought somebody else would get hurt.
Got it.
And that's the difficulty.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it seems like every day there's a new policy that comes out. So we have a couple things I want to get through. So I just saw this headline this morning that President Trump, in order to combat homelessness, has this new policy where he's encouraging local governments to revive civil commitment, basically putting people with mental health issues or who might be homeless in committing them without, let's say, their consent.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, these are executive orders. These aren't things that have been polled. What you're going to have is a grand, elaborate scheme that in southern cities and southern states to take poor and indigent people and force them into workhouses. I mean, that's what they're talking about. Look, there are not enough mental health spaces available to take every single, excuse me, I just want to cut through to thank you. There are not enough mental health spaces available to take every homeless person in America and institutionalize them. There just aren't. So what are you going to be doing with those people? You're either going to put them in an institution where there's not enough space, you're going to put them in jail, which you're not going to have enough space, or you're going to put them in work camps. And that's very likely what the long-term plan is of most of this. And again, if you ask your average person, hey, do you think that we need to be more aggressive about dealing with homeless or unhoused people? They would say, yes, sure. And then, of course, when they find out that, 17-year-old kids who are runaways from home from sexual abuse are being put into work camps, everyone's going to say, oh, I didn't want that. But yes, you did. It's exactly what you voted for.
Because, they're calling them long-term institutions.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, those are called internment camps. Okay, that's an internment camp. That's like the detention center that they've got in outside of Miami. No, that's an internment camp, and it's just a funny name for it. Yeah. And again, in the long term, and everybody has to understand this. It's not that these things are distractions. It's not that these things aren't important, but you cannot just change these things by making phone calls or hoping that he's going to make enough errors that his own people are going to stop him. You're going to have to be consistently disruptive to everything this administration wants to do if you want them to change. Period. I keep telling everybody, the reason Elon Musk couldn't get rid of all those jobs from Doge is because too many people got angry. And quietly, they've had to rehire thousands of people who they fired. But that's because everybody got up and screamed. You don't like the internment camps? Protest. You don't like the internment camps? Find out what food services are delivering to the internment camps and boycott those companies like they did down in Miami. That's how you fight this stuff.
Oh, that's a great segue. I'm so glad you brought up Elon Musk. And the people you talk to, this is your job. You talk to a lot of insiders. Can you help us better understand what is going on with Elon Musk? He has been quiet. He has been silent. Is there a strategic plan that you all think coming from him? Does he plan to jump into the race supporting Democrats? What's going on with Elon?
That man is sitting back on 1 billion terabytes of data, the likes of which no human being has ever been in control of. So it doesn't really matter what his long-term plan is, because his short-term plan is he's got everything about all of us. He's got information. In the Mission Impossible movies, they always talk about like the knock list. It's got all the secret agents. He has that and then billions more. He has everybody's financial information. He has everybody's healthcare information. That was his theft. He didn't leave Doge just because they didn't like him. He left Doge because he already has everything he wants. So I don't think he's being quiet. I think he's just going through his data. He's Scrooge McDuck. He's jumping through a giant tower of gold coins of data. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And this administration has absolutely no response to that because they gave him the power. And by the way, his people aren't all gone. He's gone. But it doesn't mean he doesn't have a whole bunch of other 18, 19-year-old college dropout acolytes who are still stealing information for him. That's the problem.
Okay, speaking of data, can you give us some more insight into this new executive order on AI from the president? And if I understand this correctly, it's okay. So AI must agree with the administration on certain views related to sex, race, critical race theory, unconscious bias. I mean, how is that? Can you set up what you know about this? And is this even feasible to do?
Here's the thing. Executive orders are not laws. They're basically things that the administration is asking bureaucracies to engage in. There's little or no enforcement mechanism. An executive order is just as strong as me sitting on my couch and saying, I think tomorrow everybody should have a cheese sandwich. I can say that as loud as I want. And maybe people in my house will eat cheese sandwiches, but it has no power or authority outside of the four walls of my home. So, what he is saying about AI, look, unless the tech companies behind AI want to do it, it won't amount to anything. And most people who are developing these sorts of AI systems, they have told us repeatedly, even they don't know entirely what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that stuff is crazy to me.
But the only thing I will say, I totally understand your point on executive orders, but in several situations since he's taken office, he has followed up the executive orders with threats to certain organizations and entities.
Right. But that is a very different thing when you're doing an executive order about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you can sue a university because you say that they're not following your executive orders. That's fundamentally different than saying, I want a piece of technology, a technological concept that literally dozens upon dozens of different corporations apply in different ways to adhere to my changing random philosophy. I mean, seriously, it doesn't make any sense. It would be he could write an executive order tomorrow saying, I want all of Hollywood to stop promoting, the liberal agenda. Okay, how are you going to enforce that?
Okay, so red meat, like G says, it's red meat. Okay.
This is the voice of Dr. Jason Johnson. He's the MSNBC host and also professor at Morgan State. Also hosts A Word with Jason for his podcast. This is my last question for you, Dr. Johnson. Who's on your podcast coming up? What are you going to be talking about? How can people subscribe? All that stuff.
So the best thing to do, we're doing a big relaunch with the podcast in about a month. I have collected tons and tons of people. It's part of why I'm at Comic-Con now, getting together an incredible list of people. If you want to follow me and most of my analysis, you can go to my YouTube page, which is Dr. Jason Johnson. You can always follow me on Instagram, which is Dr. Jason Politics. I will be guest hosting for The Beat with Ari Melber on August 8th through the 13th. And anything that you see from me over the course of the weekend, I can't be held responsible for because I'm at NerdCon. And there's all sorts of crazy things. There's all sorts of crazy things. I will not be in cosplay, but you will definitely see videos from me this weekend.
Hey, Dr. Johnson, I have two nerd friends. You and Paul out there, one of my coworkers. So I just want you to know that.
See, you're in good company, man. You're in good company.
Hey, Dr. Johnson, we're so grateful for your time. Thank you so much. Have a great and safe time out there at Comic-Con.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay. I always love it when he comes. It's a good discussion. It gets everybody fired up. It's good to have a different perspective.
Now we take a So usually we get off the phone with him and we go to break. But right now we got about 3 to 4 minutes to talk about what we just heard. And I'll tell you my takeaway. Yeah, we're not going to break yet.
Oh, I had another story, but okay. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
I did not expect him to say something that he said, and I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, he's right. Epstein's story doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and his point was, it doesn't matter because it's not going to change the vote. He has a vice grip on Congress. They will literally do whatever he says, and to which he says, they don't care if he's on the flight list. They don't care about pictures with him. They don't care about the letters. They don't care about Ghislaine Maxwell right now talking to the Department of Justice. They don't care about any of that. So his point was the votes won't change.
Is that fair all the way around, though? Because we've had people text the show saying, hey, I'm a Trump supporter, but if I find out that he's connected to Epstein in this way, then I'm done.
And I believe that.
Okay.
No. I believe that. I believe some of the right-wing podcasters there are talking about that. And by the way, I want to give a distinction to when I say right-wing or when I say conservative. I want to let you all know I don't mean that as a bad word. I don't think right-wing, I don't think conservative is a bad word. I think extremism That's the bad word. I think the radical folks, that's bad. I think the people who don't care about our democracy, I think that's bad. So if you are a conservative, good on you. Liberal, good on you, right? The vast majority of us, we're all hanging out around the middle. A little left, a little right.
But you were getting to a point, though. You took that exit ramp to get back to your point. I want you to land the plane.
And I'm going to land the plane with this. Even though you've had texters text in and say, hey, I'm out if he's on that list. And I believe that. The point is, Congress ain't out. The votes aren't out. Anything that he wants to do. And oh, by the way, do we need to talk about the Supreme Court? What Dr. Johnson basically said was, it don't matter. And so someone, Nick and Everett, I think it was, somebody asked, can you ask Dr. Johnson about the next election being a free and fair election? Hey, everyone. They almost succeeded January 6, 2021. And the only reason why they didn't is because Vice President Mike Pence was the reason why it didn't go through. Do you think they learned from that? Do you think that they will be more strategic about this going forward? Or they will, no matter what, they'll just let it go? Free and fair election.
Man, when you just took me back to January 6th and put it that way, it makes me so scared that we got that close.
Not to mention the fact that Texas is going to be doing a redistricting process in order to get 5 more House members, because they do it just on the legislature redistricts to gerrymander. In every Democratic state, though, we have an independent commission or bipartisan commission. So it's going to be wild.
Yeah. Okay. So, Chef, Angela, and I heard that on Jake and Spike's show, they actually did an interview with this lady and her husband. But I need to find out what happened, and I need your help as well. So I'm hearing that a woman is suing Blue Angels for allegedly causing the death of her cat. Okay, I want to hear it for the first time. We'll do it together next. Gee Ursula with Angela.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I always say, know where your food comes from. And for the best tasting food, choose locally fresh. Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. When you choose food from local family farmers like Wilcox, you support the local economy with jobs and promote environmental sustainability. Wilcox is committed to organic, humane practices that keep our hens healthy and help preserve the land. So, our family can keep on producing great eggs for another 100 years. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Want a great new car, but also want great value for your money? At Carter Subaru, your drive always begins with savings. This is Ursula Reutin. Right now, you can get the 2025 Crosstrek with 2.9% APR for 72 months, or take advantage of the federal tax credit before it goes away. Lease a 2025 Subaru Solterra and receive a credit of up to $7,500.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/25.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, presented by Wicked Fabrications. July 25th through the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunder Fest. Tire smoke and burnout competition. And don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
For over 50 years, Buc-ee's has provided oil changes, brakes, factory service, and more with expertise and good old-fashioned customer service. No appointment needed, friendly financing available. Visit Buc-ee's.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Tom Hutler. The Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was a lawyer in President Trump's New York business records criminal case, is meeting again today with Ghislaine Maxwell. She's serving a 20-year federal sentence for her role in Jeffrey Epstein's child sex trafficking ring. It's an unusual situation, but it has the president refusing to say if he's considering a pardon for Maxwell. Katrina Kaufman, CBS News' legal reporter.
Highly unusual this is for a deputy attorney general to go and meet with someone who has been convicted of a crime. For one, I've been speaking with sources, and they say they don't think anything like this has ever happened before.
If you're thinking about getting an electric vehicle, you might want to do it soon. President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill will eliminate the EV tax credit as of September 30th. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum, a contributing editor at checkbook.org.
Before Trump did kill the bill, it was scheduled to remain into effect all the way through 2032. The logic was that EVs right now, because this new technology, costs more than normal gas-powered vehicles, and this is a way to bridge the gap and help be good to the environment.
The EV tax credit can get you up to $7,500 for buying or leasing a new electric vehicle, or $4,000 for a used one. More crashes happen on Friday than any other day of the week. This is according to a Carfax study. They say that's the case in 43 states, including ours.
That could be due to heavy traffic. It could be due to fatigue. A lot of people can relate to that. Of course, also distracted driving and also impaired driving when people are going out for dinner plans or even after that.
The day that generates the least number of crashes, I bet you can guess, it's Sunday. All right. Right now on Wall Street, so far, good. The Dow's up 178 points. The NASDAQ a gain of 84. The S&P 500 is up by 29.5. Now, the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, our travel times aren't looking too bad, other than the fact that we've got a big slowdown down around I-5 as you approach Tacoma, all the way from the just south of South Center. It's quite a back up there. Other than that, we don't have any real major problems at this point. Lake Washington floating bridges are looking pretty darn good. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clouds and maybe some drizzle through early afternoon. We'll have some sunshine to wrap up your Friday. Tomorrow, more clouds, a few sunbreaks at high of 73 and partly sunny and 77 Sunday. Currently 58, mostly cloudy downtown. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Scenarios comes up in about 13 minutes. But right now, so I have on purpose have not read into, heard about this story that apparently has been talked about a lot. I missed it when it was talked about on Wednesday. And apparently there is a woman that is suing the Blue Angels. Help me better understand, Angela.
All right, let's do this. It's Lauren Lombardi and suing the Blue Angels, and it's a First Amendment issue. I want to say that's where she's going with this.
Okay.
It was over the untimely death of her cat and them banning her from commenting on the Blue Angels Instagram account.
Okay.
She joined the Jake and Spike show with her lawyer, Nasim Bouchita, to argue her case, and apparently her spouse is the lawyer too. Lauren says her cat has been with her since she was 20 years old, and she was the most important thing in her life.
I know a lot of people don't understand or think it's silly, and I recognize that. Like, I come off as crazy, and I recognize I am a little crazy when it comes to her, but I had her for 14 years. We were just like two peas in a pod. We did everything together. She came with me everywhere.
Lauren says Layla was diagnosed with a heart condition that was being managed, but went to the vet for a mouth infection the day she brought Pat home. And I also that was the noise of the Blue Angels. Also, the cat's name, it was Layla, right? Okay, I got the name. So, Layla. Layla was heavily sedated and sick and reacted with complete panic to the noise.
You know, she was so sick, and all she needed to do was be able to rest and be kept calm so that she could try to fight the infection and get better. And the last 4 days of her life were just miserable at the place that she loved so much. And we left home for the last time on August 5th, and she never returned. And the last few days of her life were just miserable, and there was nothing I could do about it. And it just doesn't seem fair.
While Layla says the death was bad, it's a First Amendment issue ultimately.
As a government entity, they're held to a higher standard than any private actor. So by virtue of getting an Instagram account, they can't block civilians from voicing their concerns. They don't have to read the messages. They don't have to reply to every messages, but they can't stop someone from complaining to the government. And further, they can't, by blocking Lauren from voicing her concerns, they're also blinding other Americans from seeing what the discussion is on their page.
So there's that. And one other thing before you weigh in on this, G, is I haven't seen all of her posts, but this would be my question where the First Amendment comes in. Because some of them she was allegedly cursing, like, stop with your FB, you're terrorizing my cat, all the other animals and wildlife, F off, nobody gives a... And I just wonder, is there a point, even if you have a First Amendment right to speak, is there a point if it crosses over into harassment or something that doesn't meet community standards that you can be kicked off a platform or blocked. So that, I think, I wanted to throw that in because I could see the defense making that case if it's true that those kinds of comments were left.
Okay.
So how are you feeling? So Kat, I mean, I've had several people weigh in and say, yes, animals. And it was funny. I mentioned this to my daughter and she's like, yes, me too. I was like, I didn't know the Blue Angels bothered you that much. I had no idea. Sure. But people have weighed in saying their animals are terrorized during this time and they actually leave the area. But an issue with the suit is the First Amendment, her commenting about it and being blocked.
Okay. First, let me just say this. As a cat owner myself, my heart goes out to this lady losing her cat, right? Like animals, we love our animals love us. That's a real unconditional love. So I'm really sorry that she lost her cat. As for this lawsuit, throw that out. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. That lawsuit, no, not at all. As a matter of fact, not 1 cent. Matter of fact, if that lawsuit if I were the judge and it came across my face, I'm charging y'all for bringing that lawsuit. And I'll tell you why. It reminds me of this text line right here, right? You see, people call, they'll hit up my bosses and stuff like that, and they'll say, oh, well, why did I get blocked? Oh, well, let's see the language that you started to use on there, right? Did you say that when she was commenting, go back to the text that you said. What was some of the things that she was saying? Yeah. And she's swearing, saying all of these words.
Yeah, and this is from a Fox News article. So okay. I'm sure Lauren will let us know if this is incorrect, but they just said it was stop with your FB, you're terrorizing my cat and all the other animals, wildlife. Yeah. F off. Nobody gives a F about your stupid little planes.
Okay, so how about this? I understood and understand why they blocked her. Are they right? Should a government entity block someone? Okay. Probably not. Hey, unblock her and keep it moving. What are you suing for? Are you suing for them to unblock you? Or are you suing for money? What do you want? Because you don't deserve $1.
Sometimes the harm is that her cat's health was impacted by the noise. But you find legal grounds to actually do something about it. And the legal grounds isn't the cat death. It's basically being blocked from being able to share the issue. And I will say, it is true that some of these events, if you have a pre-existing condition, it can impact people's health.
So what do you think they want money for? Do they want money for the cat or do they want money for being blocked?
Pain and suffering.
For which one? The cat or the being blocked?
It's about the cat, but we have to find legal grounds.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
There's the harm, and then there's being able to find the way that you can actually do something.
Has our society become sue happy? Have we not become? Everybody's got a lawsuit.
I think if people would do the right thing, most times people wouldn't have to be sue happy.
Okay. So when it comes to the Blue Angels, by the way, that come every year. When it comes to, are we going to now do the same thing for fireworks? Are we going to now go in unincorporated Pierce County in those areas, right, where fireworks are going? By the way, I'm complaining about fireworks all the time. What about what the fireworks do to our cats and dogs and animals during that time?
Yeah, and there's no one to blame. You can't find the person who did it half the time.
Right?
Right? Whereas this one, you have an entity to blame. And I'm not taking, and just to be clear, I'm not saying I'm for the lawsuit. I'd have to see more of the text and see, or the posts and see what was happening. But, It's a rich debate. That's all I can say.
Hold on. It's not even a rich debate. The cat was diagnosed, right? The cat was diagnosed with some heart failure. I mean, look, again, I'm not trying to be insensitive here.
Manny Ellis had a heart condition.
Bro, Chef, we're not doing that, man. We're not doing that. So when it comes to the cat, this cat already had a heart condition. So again, if a government entity, let's just say whether it is Burien or some other city here, does a fireworks show, or how about the Mariners, when sometimes they do a fireworks display in a show? And what if someone lives next to T-Mobile Park, and they live next to T-Mobile Park and something happens to their cat? Are we going to set that precedent now? That fireworks or any loud noises can lead to bad conditions for animals?
Is it time, though, to reimagine some of the things we do? Is it time to rethink some of the things we do? I mean, fireworks, we definitely have evolved on that.
Okay, we can have that discussion.
Shooting guns at track meets.
Someone who complains year after year about the excess fireworks, let's have that discussion. But I'm sorry, you don't deserve any financial compensation. And there is what pain and suffering. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and get a lawsuit because it be pain and suffering for me. You think at 1, 2 in the morning on July 7th, I want to hear fireworks? No, I don't. You think my cats want to hear fireworks? I don't. And if I start swearing at Pierce County or King County and they block me, I'm sorry. Maybe I should stop cussing at them.
All right, I have a question.
What?
So you got to keep it a buck, all right?
What?
She said in the interview that she's a vengeful person. In the Jake and Spike. Did I get that right, Chef? She says she's a vengeful person. Spiteful and vengeful person. Do you think the husband who was forced to file this suit on her behalf?
Oh, wait. Is the husband her lawyer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a lawyer taking her for a ride for a minute. But
I'm out of here.
Do you think he was he didn't have a choice?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that significant other that says, honey, the neighbors are at it again. You need to go say something. You need to go say something to the neighbor right now. And if you don't say anything, you're going to be sleeping on the couch, Larry. All right. Coming up next, we got a special guest in for Scenarios. The special guest has been waiting for this for a long time to hang out with us. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula with Angela.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter protesters, we go to Scott Carney.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
Over 1,300 schools offer free meals to students in our state during the school year. So what happens when schools are out for summer? G. Scott here to share with you how we are working together towards a hunger-free Washington. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides $120 of free healthy food per child when school is out. Sunbucks is a flexible food benefit that families can use to buy groceries to help offset rising costs. If you or a parent you know could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility to receive $120 per child. If families had cards last year, they have been replenished. If families need new cards, they can call the Sunbucks call center. Find all the details and apply for Sunbucks at hungerfreewashington.org/summer EBT. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to save on produce and shop online. Find out if this new grocery benefit could help your family. For more information, visit hungerfreewa.org/summer EBT.
Right now, Kia of Everett has over 400 new vehicles available. And the great part, they're tariff-free. Hi, I'm Eric Butler, the general manager with Kia of Everett. Tariff-free means you're going to save thousands of dollars. And our terrific lease and financing offers can help you purchase your new Kia now while the timing is right. The best drive to tariff-free savings is to Kia of Everett, where we make owning a new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Visit Kia of Everett at kiaofeverett.com.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you. irgpt.com.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1877 Cars for Kids.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
Seahawks Football Fest is back at Lumen Field, Saturday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. Kick off your weekend with this exclusive practice in an evening full of football, family, and fun. Meet Seahawks legends, Seahawks dancers, and Blitz. Check out the gaming zone, face painters, live music, and DJ, and don't miss the autographed football toss. There's entertainment for all ages. Get an inside look at your 2025 Seattle Seahawks at Football Fest. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Angela Poe Russell is hanging out with us on the Fresh Fridays. And I got to tell you, before we get to scenarios, we have someone who listens to the show every single day from the great state of Minnesota. And he's here to do scenarios with us. You guys hear us reference Darrell, who happens to be, that's my first cousin. Like, that's my father's sister's oldest son. We grew up together and everything. So Darrell is in the building.
So glad that you're here, Darrell. It's like the face behind the legend. You
there
know?
we go. All right. Let's get to it. Scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm recently divorced after a 5-year marriage and just started dating again. Is ghosting an understood thing everyone does now? I went for drinks after work on Friday with a guy, then text after to thank him. No response. Okay, turn the page, right? So I went out with another guy on the first date. He said he'd call me in the next couple of days. Nothing. Is it me, or is ghosting just an understood reality of dating? Or am I attracting a certain type of person? Whatever it is, it's rude, and I want no part of it. 888-973-5476. We need you to give this lady some advice. Angela, you're up the bat first.
Oh, you're going to start with me?
Yes.
Clearly that they weren't that into it. So at the very least, I would think if you go out on a date, and let's say someone's not, does she meet these people online? That's what I want to know. Okay, here's what I'll say. If you met them online, does your profile picture match what you look like in person? Because that's typically in old-fashioned dating, you have conversation, talk on the phone for a little bit, right? So then you kind of like the conversation, and then you go out. But if you're doing online dating, people see a profile picture, a couple facts, and then you go out. And if they're like, hey, this isn't measuring up, then I'm ghosting the next step. But I would what do you want? Would it be better if he just said, hey, you didn't like your picture and I'm not? Like, what is he supposed to say?
Yeah, good point. Darrell, what do you got?
Man, we're not wasting our time these days. We're just going to walk away. Period.
So no, like, hey, no thanks, I don't want to do another date. You just walk away?
No, women are doing it to us even now. If you're meeting somebody online, we're talking for a minute. I can talk to somebody for a couple of weeks. It's back and forth, and all of a sudden they just disappeared. Women are doing it also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What typically happens when you do talk to someone online, meet them in person, and you just ghost them? So you've ghosted someone. What were your reasons for ghosting typically?
That's a good question.
If they had open toe shoes and the big toe longer than the middle, the small toe, the next toe right there.
Oh, yeah.
Is longer than the big toe and is hanging over the shoe.
This is a real thing.
That's a real, that's specific. No, you had a story.
And this is the problem with online dating, though. It's like, that's a physical. What about her character, her values?
We can be friends then.
Angela, sweeping statement. Men don't care about character and values in the beginning.
That's crap. We do.
Eventually.
All right. So
not the first day or two.
All right. Before Chef weighs in, so what's your advice to her?
Just deal with it, because go on a few dates. You're eventually going to meet somebody, but you got to weed your way through.
Okay, so just stick to it.
My advice is grow a thicker skin, because this type of thing happens to men all of the time. Flat out rejection, pretending like, I don't see you, I don't hear you. Like, men deal with rejection all the time. Your problem is that you're not used to being rejected, and so it feels like a personal affront. It's not. And especially if objects in mirror are significantly larger than your profile pictures appear.
Before we go to Nick, make sure you're dating within your league. There's a lot of people that only want to date the guy that makes $100,000 a year. I want to give a reminder. In the United States of America, only 16% of men make $100,000 a year. So that means there is a small percentage of men that make that. So understand that you are fighting against other women that are trying to date in that same category. Make sure you're dating in your league.
Is that your thing? Because you didn't weigh in on your advice yet.
I just said.
Oh, that's
Make sure you're dating in your league.
So she might be out of her league.
Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how the rules were laid out back in the day and if there's been any change since the previous generation. But you know what? Ghosting happens a lot and doesn't get admitted. If you don't like it, then maybe a break from dating is needed, because it does come with the territory now. I don't know about big or little toes being baked into the game, though, but there's always that possibility. I'm not going to make any promises, though.
And wait a minute. Are you ready for this? This happens once you are in attendance in the same presence with them, and then they ghost you. So I think back to what you said, Angela. I don't think your picture is matching up. And if you giving that Facebook picture that you took in 2012 and making that your profile picture, knowing it's 2025, come on now. You can't do that.
Yeah. Or did you order the most expensive thing on the menu? That'll do it, won't it? Does that not annoy you if someone tries to order the most expensive thing on the menu when you're taking them out? Darrell, that doesn't bother you?
Angela, are you trying to say that?
It doesn't bother me so much, but when I go out on a date with someone, or I'm meeting someone new and they're constantly saying, oh, where are we going to go out? Where are we going to go out? Where are you taking me this time? It gets tiresome.
Thank you, Darrell. That was fun. More of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next. Angela Pope Russell.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call Roof Smart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call Roof Smart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro. Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Heather Bosch. There's growing public demand for the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, and the Deputy U.S. Attorney General just wrapped up a second day of questioning his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. CBS's Katrina Kaufman reports this is unusual.
I've been speaking with sources, and they say they don't think anything like this has ever happened before. In addition, they said that normally you'd want to have the prosecutor of the case there. And it's important to remember that the lead prosecutor on that Jeffrey Epstein case was Maureen Comey.
The Department of Justice recently fired Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. Maxwell is serving prison time for sex trafficking, and today President Trump was asked.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she cooperated?
It's something I haven't thought about.
President Trump is heading to Scotland, and Catherine Arms reports.
Security has been ramping up for weeks as protesters from various interest groups are expected in numbers. Palestinian and Ukrainian advocacy groups, as well as climate activists, are planning to gather in key Scottish cities. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is scheduled to meet Trump to discuss trade deals. Catherine Arms for CBS News, Bath, England.
Brutal heat is hitting much of the eastern half of the U.S. Meteorologist Jessica Birch has the details.
Feels like temperatures today can jump up to around 100 degrees throughout many communities in the south and all the way into the Midwest, too. So from Texas up into Arkansas, all the way into Missouri and off into the Ohio Valley, there are heat alerts today issued by the National Weather Service.
A strike at the ballpark by concession workers. Aramark employees at Boston's Fenway Park say they want better pay.
I've been working in A season. I know a lot of people. I gained a lot of relationships, but they should pay us. You know, we should get paid for what we work.
Amarak says it has a contingency plan and fans will be able to buy food and drinks. Israel now says it will allow other countries to airdrop aid into Gaza. More from CBS's Michael Wallace.
Jordan and the United Arab Emirates are expected to begin airdrops soon. The UN's World Food Program says almost a third of the people in Gaza are not eating for days. 90,000 women and children suffering from malnutrition are in urgent need of treatment.
We have been warning of this for many, many months.
Joe English with UNICEF says the airdrops won't be enough.
During the ceasefire, the UN had more than 400 aid points where we would do distribution, where we would screen children for malnutrition.
He says without another ceasefire, more people will die of starvation. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Israel and Hamas have been at war in Gaza since Hamas attacked Israel. 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced now. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Summer slog is about to get even worse. That's the bad news. We'll have more news coming up after we check in and your Beacon Plumbing traffic update now as we take a look at what's going on. And we've got some issues that are already happening along the Nisqually River Bridge heading northbound. That's why it's so slow there. There's a crash. And also, as you probably know, the two right lanes of southbound I-5 blocked much earlier this morning just south of State Route 18 near the Pierce County border due to that semi-collision there. Still 4-mile plus backups. It's a long time to get that clear. Travel times right now, more than double the average from Everett to Seattle, currently 57 minutes. Federal Way to Tacoma, 28 minutes. That's normally about 9. Issaquah to Bellevue, a 15-minute drive right now. Lake Washington floating bridges, though, are wide open.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Tom Hutler, and if you think traffic's been rough lately, well, you're right. In addition to the Revive I-5 work on the Ship Canal Bridge, there are dozens of other projects happening right now. Eastlake Avenue, right outside our studios, getting new sewer lines, fresh pavement, and a rapid transit upgrade. Alex Hudson with Commute Seattle tells me they've set up a hotline for folks to get into and to vent. There are 6 different ways that you can vent your anger at them. And Hudson says there are 6 different ways to get across the water here in Seattle as well.
And when we close the largest one to do necessary maintenance and repair, we're going to feel the impacts of that across our system.
The Ship Canal Bridge hasn't been resurfaced since 1989, and something you can't do during the winter. A Virginia Atlantic flight bound for Seattle was forced to turn around and head back to the UK this morning. The twin-engine Airbus A330 took off from London's Heathrow Airport before abruptly turning around about an hour into the flight. A Virgin spokesperson said the plane diverted to Manchester because of air traffic control restrictions, adding that the safety and security of our customers and the crew is always our top priority. No word yet on what caused that plane to divert. 4 more Seattle police officers have been named in connection to the January 6th rally in Washington, D.C. Their names released yesterday.
They are Sergeant Jacob Brisky, Sergeant Scotty Bach, Detective Michael Settle, and Officer Jason Marchione. They joined 2 others, Alexander and Caitlin Everett, who were fired in 2021. Investigators say the Everetts trespassed at the Capitol and stood close to all the chaos as it unfolded. According to the Seattle Times, the department has not confirmed if the other 4 are still on the force.
That's KIRO News Radio's Man to Factor. For the first time ever, the Seafare Torchlight Parade will wind along the new Seattle waterfront. That's coming up tomorrow night. Seafare CEO Emily Cantrell spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
So for 75 years, dating back to 1950, the parade has happened on 4th Avenue, and essentially that has divided the city in half. And so for the first time, we're really excited to be down here on the waterfront, where not only is it picturesque, but we get to bring the community together along this beautiful parade route.
That, of course, tomorrow night, the annual Seafare Torchlight Parade. Our weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clouds, maybe some drizzle through the early afternoon. We'll have some sunshine late this afternoon and into your evening. Clouds and some sun mixed tomorrow on a high of 73. Partly sunny, 77 on Sunday, 60 in clouds downtown. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. I want to thank Tom Hutler for coming in and giving us the news at the top and the bottom of the hour. By the way, I just love hearing Tom Hutler's voice. His voice.
I know, right?
I mean, it's like magical. Magical voice he has. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula today. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning.
Are you having a good time?
I'm having a wonderful time, and I love the people that are listening saying Angela's playing the Ursula role today. I love that. I love to channel Ursula here and there.
Nick is here. Thank you, Nick, for everything that you do, brother. Of course, Chef is here as well. Hey, at 11:30, we will have Agree to Disagree, but I just want to say, if at the end of this segment, if you don't like the news that you heard, please text in and blame Chef. Just want to say that because the news that we're getting ready to discuss is 100% Chef's fault. So let's see how we're going to do it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
All right, fellas. This one, it's going to sting a little bit. There's a new app that is blowing up. And when I say blowing up, it just hit the number one on the App Store, according to Business Insider. And it lets women anonymously review men that they've dated. The app is called T. You know how you call your girlfriend? Girl, I got the T. Mm-hmm. That's what this is called, T. Here's how it works. You upload a guy's first name, estimated age, and location. Maybe throw in a picture or two, and then you spill the tea. Women can post green flags, red flags, or straight up cautionary tales. And yes, some of these posts read like FBI files. Now, the app doesn't allow screenshots, and it hides a bunch of features behind a $15 paywall, including things like background checks, phone lookups, and reverse image search. Because, of course, nothing says healthy dating like CSI Tinder Edition. The founder says he created the app after watching his mom get catfished and nearly end up with the guy who had a criminal record. So the idea is to warn other women before they get into something dangerous or something just deeply disappointing. But here's the thing. It's anonymous. And that's where it gets messy. Critics on Reddit and out there on Twitter, well, formerly known as Twitter, X, say it's a recipe for false accusations, defamation, and flat-out cyberbullying. Angela Poe Russell, what's up?
I struggle with this because I see the potential pitfalls and the chaos it can create by people just who are vengeful and spiteful and who just want to drag someone's name through the mud because they were turned down. However, having been out in the dating game for people, it can be dangerous, and for women especially dangerous. And I'll just give you one example. So after getting divorced, I jumped back into, the dating scene and signed up for eHarmony. And so I connect with this one person that they match us. We had some phone conversations. Things seem normal as the day is long. We scheduled a time to meet in person. Okay. Well, one day before the meetup, eHarmony messages me and says, we removed this person, don't have any contact. And they wouldn't tell me why.
What?
Oh, yeah. And they wouldn't tell me why. Would not tell me. They were like, we can't tell you why. So I put on my journalism hat and did some investigating. Apparently, he was like a convicted child predator person. And he seemed normal as the day is long. I mean, not that people always think they look like monsters.
No.
And they don't. This person had 4 kids of his own. He had 4 kids. And he had been convicted, like, I think, of soliciting a 12-year-old or something. And I'm like, I was a day from meeting with this person. And so I think that eHarmony was notified by maybe someone in his circle who told. But, people have these experiences, and I see it from a safety vantage point. But then, so that's where I land on it.
Time out.
Yes.
Time out. Okay, I want to pull the curtain back. As you all know, we do a pre-show meeting all the time, and we talk about topics that we're going to discuss. And so usually when we make those decisions, Chef will throw it out there, and Angela or myself, and we'll say, oh, yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah, this story did it. Angela, not one time did you say anything about this. So I am sitting here stuck. Like, this really happened?
I know. And so, and honestly, what triggered it is, listen, we're not perfect on the show, but we really do try to do our research before talking about things. We try to get through everything. So once I dug more into their why behind doing it, I was like, yes, that makes total sense. And I'm trying to figure out what safeguards you put in place to prevent someone just going on there and being vindictive and dragging someone's name through the mud, unnecessarily.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't diminish the point you were going to make about the chaos it can create.
And that's the point I'm getting ready to make.
Yes, let's go.
Now, by the way, you made my point harder to make considering what you personally have gone through. Mm-hmm. Because I would imagine that someone was anonymous that hit up eHarmony, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm okay for that. If it wants to be anonymous, then it has to be something very serious, right? It can't be anonymous and, girl, I met up with him for drinks and he left and didn't pay the bill. Like, I don't want that anonymous. Put your name on that one.
Right.
So I'm okay with this site. I'm okay, did you date this person? All that stuff. I just don't like the anonymous part of things because that's dangerous. So right now, someone could come and say, today on Friday at 1:30 p.m., I was hanging out with G in this space, right? And it's anonymous, right? In that case, I have no way of defending myself, right? Now, if this lady, Karen, says, I was hanging out with G at 1:30 today, and Karen lives in Yakima, okay, right? Or if Karen lives in North Seattle, or if Karen lives in Bainbridge Island, that's not true. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't like the anonymous part of it. I'm okay with the app. Just put
your name on it. Put your
it.
name on it.
That's all.
Yeah.
So,
well, how are you feeling, Chef?
It's dangerous and it's horrible, but we accept it. I mean, there's some recent history of other things similar. Like there was an app called Lulu for a couple of years where women would anonymously rate men. Right. It was called Yelp for dating, basically. There's Are We Dating the Same Guy on Facebook. Your name is attached to that, though, so that's a little bit better. There's no male equivalent of this, right? There was in New York, Are We Dating the Same Girl, that was put up in response to Are We Dating the Same Guy, and it got slammed as like toxic, abusive, incel-like behavior.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, like women are more likely to be doxxed and harassed online, etc. But it causes real harm if you throw around things like Josh is an abuser, or Ted is an alcoholic, or Tim has chlamydia. Like that has real impacts on people's lives.
Big time.
And for women, this is framed as like collective protection, and it's for the sake of the women. But that's not all that's going to happen. There's going to be some good things that happen, and there's going to be some guys who really get dragged through the mud.
So before we move on, one of our good friends, Tramal in Federal Way, texted us and just sent us an article that, as of today, this morning, this happened. Women dating app, safety app T has been breached. User IDs posted to 4chan. Chef, you can, about that.
Yeah.
All right. For those
this
who
is
don't,
on Reddit
explain
too.
It. Yeah.
Okay. So the people that were posting anonymously. They're supposed to post anonymously, but they still have to submit their information to the site, right? Well, someone wrote a quick Python script and dumped the whole thing, including identifiers. There's like pictures of driver's licenses I saw. Wow. So you have to have a verified ID to post it, quote, anonymously, but all of that just got dumped.
Yeah. So thank you. One last
I was going to say, if the majority of people, though, were posting from a genuine space of protection, they shouldn't be afraid of anything. I mean, unless they're obviously you're dealing with a criminal or someone who's violent.
I just, one last point. I like Chef's point about, Billy is an abuser. And just leave it out there. Like, that is a blanket statement. And Billy doesn't have a record or anything like that, right? So I think it needs to be very serious when it's coming from an anonymous place. And it comes from, hey, user T, just so you know, this has happened.
What about the dudes who go around, or people who go around intentionally spreading diseases? Like,
duh.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. No.
Yeah.
Yes, please. First of all, they should go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. Let's move on. So this caught the eye of us in the Wall Street Journal. Check this out. Parents are ditching the whole gentle parenting thing and embracing a new philosophy that's making the rounds online. Guess what it's called?
What's it called?
FAFO.
Sorry to laugh so loud, y'all.
Short for F around and find out.
Right.
One mom in Virginia told the Journal she tried everything with her 13-year-old. Lectures, writing lines. But when he sprayed her with a water gun after she told him not to, she tossed him into the pond, fully clothed. Said he thought it was hilarious. But guess what? He didn't do it again. One parent complained about their 6-year-old constantly hitting and biting. Most commenters advised gentle parenting. But one person wrote, "My kid bit me once, so I bit them back. Do I need to repeat the word once? You don't want lasagna for dinner. Okay. See you at breakfast. FAFO." Now, look, I'm not saying we all need to start biting toddlers back, okay, or tossing kids in the lakes. A lot of parents are getting walked all over trying to validate feelings. And if the FAFO mindset, okay, if it's about putting some backbone back in the house, guess what? I'm all for it. I never liked the gentle parenting in the first place. Angela, let's go.
I think that this is an overcorrection, but they're on to something. You know, I totally believe that grandmas have the wisdom, and I'll never forget my grandmother, Mama Pearl, saying, "You just need to beat them one good time. Just one good time."
Just once?
Just one good time. Listen, what I discovered, and I never did any, definitely we did spanking earlier on, no beatings, but what I found out is that some kids, some discipline is effective and some it's not. I mean, even in our same house, we had 3 kids. I was the middle. Spanking absolutely prevented behavior. For my younger brother, it did not. He would be like, he'd be crying like, whatever, and I'm doing it again. So I really do think it depends on the kid and seeing what works. Because I remember my mom with, I won't say which kid this was, but let's just say my mom on one of the kids was like, "Angela, I don't know what to tell you." She was like, "I don't know what to tell you." My mom had her hands up. I mean, kids are different, and you have to figure out what works. I'm glad that some of these parents have found something that works.
Can I speak? I want to speak on behalf of Gen X for a second.
Let's go. I'm Gen X.
Okay.
Okay. You Gen X too.
Yes.
Cheers. Okay.
Look, I grew up and I just had this conversation with another fellow Gen X, and we were laughing and joking about parents that say, "'Cause I say it so." Do as I say, not as I do. I'm talking about.
I heard all that.
I mean, Gen X, you guys know what I'm talking about. Go outside. I'll see you when the street lights come on. I mean, like, you know the parenting style that we had. Okay?
Oh yeah. You're bored. I'll give you something.
I'll give you, cry again. I'm gonna give you something else to cry about.
That's right.
You guys know all these things. You better eat all your food. Oh, you don't want to eat that? Then you're gonna go hungry. I can keep going, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be funny. I mean this and sincerely with all my heart. I truly believe that Gen X probably had the best parenting.
I think you're right. And in fact, I just remembered I did the gentle parenting thing last night. My daughter didn't want one thing, and I made her something else. And I'm like, what did Claire Huxtable do? Theo said, I wanted my egg scrambled. And she took a spoon and just mashed up the egg and was like, there you go.
I gotta push back a little bit because gentle parenting is not supposed to be about protecting your kids from the consequences of their actions. It's about teaching them the emotional skills to be able to make better decisions in the future, right? So like my son, he broke a laptop. He's paying for it now, right? When I did stuff bad as a kid, I got spanked. If I knew I was doing something bad, I'd go grab the cookies and I'd give my mom the spatula. There you go. Okay?
Pretty much.
But what that taught me is how to hide my behavior and how to lie really well. What I want to do with my son is teach him, hey, if you're constantly raiding the pantry, what's really going on? Is it the fact that you have anxiety and there's something internally that feels wrong and you're eating your feelings? Is that what's happening? Then let's walk you through how to fix that.
I see. So you're saying that we're confusing gentle parenting with lack of consequences.
Correct.
And I think I've been guilty of calling it gentle parent, but not, in other words, not giving proper consequences. I know I've been guilty of that. Like I have not been. It's like I like what you talk about.
Are you guys ready for this?
No.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Hey, Gen X. I'm talking to the Gen X folks. Who remembers? Can you remember when your teacher or the principal said, "I'm gonna call home"?
Oh.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. To all of my brothers and sisters that are teachers and administrators in schools now, I'm asking you right now, if you tell the child, "I'm going to call home," what does that do? Nothing.
They don't do it.
Nothing.
There's an email.
Why? You want to know why? Because these parents will actually come to the school and call the school and tell you how you are treating their child.
It's true.
Don't you be talking about child. My baby would never do that. Huh. Back in the day when we was coming up, let me tell you something. Listen. Please don't call home. I'll do whatever. I will do whatever. Please don't call home. You don't understand. And my first cousin is standing here right now, who we grew up together. We went to school together. Listen, y'all, listen. My grandmother, my mama Scott, had 9 kids. 2 of those kids were my father and his mother. Of the kids, there were 2 boys, only 2, my father and my Uncle Jesse. I don't think you guys understand the fear that comes with those 2 men. Those 2 men, if the school called, look, teacher, do whatever you want to. I'll do extra homework. I'll do everything. Please don't call home.
Gee, you remember the scariest 6 words growing up? Wait until your dad gets home.
Y'all don't understand. Oh, man. Look, I'm talking to Gen X. Like I said, there's some families that maybe you don't understand, but I'm telling you, the Gen X folks, the folks that are hardworking, the folks that are doing and taking care of their families, they're probably better for those parents being really tough on them. I wasn't scared to commit crimes because of the police. I was scared to commit crimes because of my daddy, because of my mama. That's why I was scared to commit a crime. You want to know why my cousin right here is sitting here with no criminal record? Because he knew better. If he did, our Uncle Jesse would destroy him. All right, I'm back. Coming up next, Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
The Jake and Spike Show.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Seattle is the nation's most male-skewed major city. There's more men in Seattle. They say in the article here, they said the most masculine city, but I absolutely disagree with that.
You've seen the men in this town.
Exactly.
Please. It's not like it's 80-20.
No,
that's when it's hard to meet a lady.
That's true.
When there's 4 guys for every girl. That's when it's here come the bride's time.
The Jake and Spike Show.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
Hey guys, it's Keith Dashafee from Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington, and we are not done celebrating 100 years of industry leadership. For a limited time, get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, or choose 60 months of 0% financing with no interest and equal payments. That's right, 100 years strong, and we're giving you more ways to save on the Pella difference. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaPNW.com. Thank you again for letting us serve you in the Northwest.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit blowingclassic.com for more.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. That's 42,000 bathrooms made safer, cleaner, and more stylish. To celebrate, Bathfitter is offering payments as low as $125 a month. Custom-fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, while also removing your old setup. Every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty for total peace of mind. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today to schedule a free consultation. The special offer won't last.
Right now, Kia of Everett has over 400 new vehicles available, and the great part, they're tariff-free. Hi, I'm Eric Butler, the General Manager with Kia of Everett. Tariff-free means you're going to save thousands of dollars. And our terrific lease and financing offers can help you purchase your new Kia now while the timing is right. The best drive to tariff-free savings is to Kia of Everett, where we make owning a new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Visit Kia of Everett at kiaofeverett.com.
If you're traveling through the SCA airport this summer, use the new Security Checkpoint 1 at the south end of baggage claim. Just one of the many upgrade SCA projects taking your airport from now to wow. Stay up to date on all airport projects by following @FlySCA.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number one is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number one. Do you have the right coverage? Number two, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
This week, 4-time Grammy winner and jazz legend Stanley Clarke returns to Jazz Alley, July 24th through 27th. 6 shows of pure bass brilliance, electric, acoustic, and unforgettable. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's morning news all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event, now extended through July 27th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event extended to July 27th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Tom Hutler. We've learned that deportation flights from the remote Everglades immigration lockup that administration officials have dubbed Alligator Alcatraz began this week. The story from CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the flights operated by the Department of Homeland Security have transferred about 100 detainees to other countries. He expects that number to increase soon.
The cadence is increasing. We've already had a number of flights in the last few days.
Officials say there have been 2 or 3 flights, but they aren't saying which countries they've gone to. About 2,000 people are now being held at the facility, which has the capacity to hold double that. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Overnight, a BMW was going 130 miles an hour across the I-90 bridge when it flew off the freeway and crashed near Rainier Avenue. Trooper Rick Johnson told KIRO News Radio they didn't chase him, and the car jumped a barrier.
This one, I mean, it kind of resolved itself by taking a ramp too fast, because a lot of times people aren't trained to drive by a vehicle like they're on a racetrack, obviously. I mean, things happen a lot faster. Curves get a lot tighter. But we're just thankful that no one was seriously injured in this one.
South County Fire battling 7 brush fires this week, many of them along I-5. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
The latest happening yesterday at noon near Everett. Since it's so dry, they're asking folks to skip out on fire hazards. Don't toss your cigarettes, and no recreational fires either.
If you're headed to either of the big Morgan Wallen concerts at Lumen Field tonight or tomorrow, you're going to be able to catch the West Seattle water taxi afterward. Yeah, the route will extend for late night service from Pier 50 at 11:45 and 12:15 a.m. after both shows. On Wall Street right now, we are continuing a pretty nice day with the Dow up 179 points. The Dow, the NASDAQ rather, with a gain of 80 3/4. The S&P 500 is up 28.5. Now for the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. We got some slowing. The right 2 lanes of westbound 90 closed at the South Fork of the Snoqualmie River Bridge between exit 32 and 436th Avenue Southeast and exit 31 at State Route 202 North Bend. This is for road pavement repairs, about 3 miles of backups. 2 right lanes of southbound 5 remain blocked just south of State Route 18 near the Pierce County border due to that earlier semi-collision, with backups hopefully dissipating soon, but they've been as high as 4 to 5 miles. Travel times, Alderwood to South Center via 405. That's a 63-minute slog. Tacoma to Olympia right now, 56 minutes. The Lake Washington floating bridges still look good, though. And this traffic report's brought to you by KIRO News Radio. And our weather update now, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Clouds, maybe some drizzle through the early afternoon. We'll see some sunshine later on today. More clouds and some sun mixes tomorrow with a high of 73 and 77 and partly sunny Sunday. Right now, 60 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula today. Angela, it's 11:30 already.
I know. Time has flown.
Hey, so
by.
sweet.
Flown by. Hey, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I just want to say this. We're always grateful that you guys hang out on the show. Also, those of you on YouTube. By the way, I heard the YouTube comments was on fire today.
Oh, really? I want to go on. Okay, I'm going to go on.
It was on fire. So, here, and then Ernie from Kent says, Gee, Sandra and I are celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary on Sunday. Where is a good rooftop bar for a cocktail? Emerald Queen.
Emerald Queen is a good rooftop bar?
Yeah, down there in Tacoma. Yes. All right, let's get to it. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters. One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
All right, dogs will soon be welcome aboard Sound Transit trains and buses. You don't need to put it in the carrier either. By unanimous decision, the board voted to allow dogs on the Link Light Rail, Sounder trains, ST Express buses. Dogs ride free. And this was inspired by the opening of the new Marymore Village Station, which is right by that massive off-leash park. This has been allowed on King County Metro for years, Angela. What are your thoughts on riding along with the pups?
I am lukewarm on this, so I'm going to say I agree, only with some caveats. I do know for a fact that they are in the... I mean, I don't like the idea of having to be around dogs if I'm not wanting in that moment to be around them. Like if I'm in a restaurant or in the grocery store, like that's not something where I want dogs. However, I get that people may want to take their dog into town or there's a big off-leash park nearby. So I think the best solution for the transit to serve everybody is for them to have certain spaces where the dogs can be. I know they're in the process of drafting rules for this. Like they're saying, okay, it's going to happen. Now they're going to draft the parameters. So I would say have certain spaces, a car where sections where the dogs can be. And if it's on a bus, maybe it's like, and as long as you can have a pet-free zone where people who may be allergic or have some other kind of aversion or are just scared, maybe they've been attacked by, I think as long as you have a pet-free zone, I'm cool.
I want to answer this in two ways, Chef. First, let me be honest. I have no idea what's good and not good on Sound Transit. You know what I mean?
It's Friday, really, G?
Every time we had this conversation, I don't know, because I'm not out there. I'm not on there. That's number one. But I'm very sensitive to this topic about dogs and allowing dogs. I just did an event this week, and it was an event supporting Northwest Battle Buddies. And this organization, what they do, Chef, is they provide professionally trained service dogs to veterans that are battling PTSD, helping them kind of regain their freedom and independence and trying to do better. Because as we all know, all of the men and women that fight for our country, serve in the military, do all these things, well, when the war is over, when things are over, yeah, it might be over, but for them, they are still fighting.
That's right.
Right? They're fighting. And so I specifically talked to one brother. His name is Sailor, is his name. Great dude. He was telling me how he was on medications, so many medications. And this dog has eliminated those medications.
Wow.
So,
I've heard about the power of animals.
The power of animals, like seriously helping with the anxiety and depression and all those. So, Chef, my long-winded answer is let them dogs on Sound Transit.
Okay, well, service dogs have always been allowed on and anywhere.
But he's saying period.
But I'm saying period. Yeah. Air quotes, service dogs, when they're all uniform, you identify them. I'd argue that dogs in general, some people's dogs are like, it's not a service dog, but this dog makes me feel great, right? So allow the dogs.
Okay, you know the guy that you see that's walking the pit bull with the chain or with the collar that's got the spikes on it.
Yeah,
you see dude looks like he looks like trouble. The dog is growling at people. Like you want that on?
Yeah.
That's why I'm.
Chef,
go ahead.
Chef,
no, I'm serious.
Chef, being serious.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You're taking a very small percentage. That person is not on Sound Transit. I know the person you're talking. No, I know the person you're talking about. That person is in their car. That they have that dog in the back seat with the window open. That person is not on Sound Transit.
I don't know. I see some of those dudes at the homeless camps around here. But to your point, the most egregious behavior I've seen on any kind of public transit has always come from us humans.
But some people, I just want to say, some people are allergic. I think as long as they have a pet-free zone where it's like,
there's some people who are allergic to different scents too.
Okay,
right?
But animal are very, like if my daughter is around a cat, like it is trouble. I mean, I'm saying it's cool, but I'm just saying just have an area where you can be that if that's a problem for you, you don't need to be around the animal. Why is that so hard?
I don't know. Animals are people too. Is that what we're saying?
Okay, so we're going against science now?
Yeah, what is a woman? Let's move on to the kids. What is the...
Wow, you just opened that can of worms.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
All right. What is the average allowance these days? And what do you think a little kid should earn in a week, G? USA Today reports the average parent of a 5 to 15-year-old is giving them $39, nearly $40 a week.
Makes sense.
Are you serious?
Inflation.
And I'll tell you why it makes sense. I'll tell you why. And I didn't do research on this topic, as you know I never do. $5 used to be it, right? Back in the 80s, Gen X, talking to y'all, it used to be $5. And then you might have got a promotion. You might have got the $10 one. Now, Angela, I don't know how much allowance you got, but I used to get $5. I don't know what inflation would be. You take the 80s, and what would it be today? per week, but I know $5 a week used to be it. Angela?
Okay, how do I feel? So what was the question? How do I feel?
How much should kids get? Let's say, like a 10-year-old.
I think that's a lot of money, and I think it depends on if they have to do work for it. So I think if they do an appropriate amount of work for it, then $40 could be good. But if you're just getting the money to get it, $40 seems really expensive.
Help me. What's inflation? All my math wizards. $5 a week in the 80s.
$5 in 1982 was $17 today.
Yeah, so 40 is a lot.
40 is way too much, man. Like, my mom had me weeding the garden for a quarter an hour. Your kids do not need too much disposable income because it is not going to be used well.
Can I just say this? My cousin is sitting right here. We used to be able to get a pickle, a peppermint, and a soda for dang near $1. Today, matter of fact, we used to get penny candy, and check this out. We used to eat Laffy Taffies and Now Laters back then in the 80s. Yesterday, I got home from work. On my table at home, I have a 50-year-old cousin that is still eating Laffy Taffies and Now Laters. I said, what in the world is the problem? How are you still eating this candy?
But he looked good, doesn't he?
Can I confess that I was an adult when I realized it was called a Now and Later?
Would you?
We just call it Now Laters.
Not a Laters.
By the way, I just said Now and Later just because I'm on the radio.
But
it's Now Laters. It's Now Laters.
Annihilators?
It's now, yeah.
Annihilators.
It's Now Laters.
Okay.
I was like, wow, this is actually called a Now and Later?
Nick, how much should a kid get for allowance today per week?
I would say $40 to $50 a week.
Oh, what? You think that much?
It depends how old you are. If you're in the young teens, I think that's fair.
Then they should work.
Yeah.
They should get a job.
I was getting chores when I was, 13 years old. I was getting, maybe $10, $20 a month. It's gotten up these days.
Okay. All right. Love it. Love the perspective.
It's been fun. Text messages, feedback, and then, by the way, I'm supposed to be rounding third. I haven't rounded the bases yet. I've still been working hard. I got News Boss open. Oh, man. What kind of show is this today? All right. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have words to live by. Gee and Ursula.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show. Even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Over 1,300 schools offer free meals to students in our state during the school year. So what happens when schools are out for summer? It's G. Scott here to share with you how we are working towards a hunger-free Washington. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides $120 of free healthy meals per child when a child is out of school. Sunbucks is a flexible food benefit that families can use to buy groceries to help offset rising costs. If you or a parent you know could use the help, simply fill out a form online to determine eligibility to receive $120 per child. If families had cards last year, they have been replenished. If families need new cards, they can call the Sunbucks call center. Find all the details and apply for Sunbucks at hungerfreewashington.org/summer EBT. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to save on produce and shop online. Find out if this new grocery benefit could help your family. For more information, visit hungerfreewa.org/summer EBT.
Ron is a musician.
Guitar is my love, and the thought of losing that ability was devastating.
You see, Ron was suffering from osteoarthritis.
I was starting to have pain, especially in my right thumb. I had gone to an orthopedic specialist, and they were coming up with options like fusing the joints together.
That's when Ron decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
The results are astounding. I couldn't have imagined it working as effectively as it has.
You'd recommend this to other people?
Oh, wholeheartedly. I am quite the fan of the stem cell therapy.
So, whether it's a shoulder, hip, knee, or even your thumb, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm singing from rooftops. Go see Dr. Wagner.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Hartley and Brent Wilcox talking about Wilcox Family Farms.
Dad, I've really enjoyed all the community events we've been doing. One question I get asked a lot is, how long has our family had the farm? When I tell them since 1909, they're surprised. Why do you think that is?
I imagine it's because that's a long time, and many farms have been bought by big corporations that put profits first.
Growing up on the farm, I feel like we put people and the well-being of our hens first.
We do, and as you know, free-range and mobile pasture hens have organic soil to forage and do what they naturally would do. This takes more time and money, but it's the right thing to do. It's better for the hens and makes for great tasting eggs.
I agree. Here is Mike to tell you where you can find locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs.
For fresh, local, pasture-raised, omega-3, hard-boiled, and other fresh eggs, choose Wilcox Family Farms. Look for Wilcox eggs at Town and Country Markets, Fred Meyer, and Amazon Fresh. Wilcox Family Farms.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who've been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms. Or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
So why don't you speed?
I've had one too many close calls on the road, and then I learned the facts.
It's dangerous to drive too fast.
It's true. 1 in 3 fatal crashes involve speeding.
Most people try to be safe, but speeding is dangerous.
You know, the faster you go, the longer it takes to stop.
The faster you drive, the harder you'd hit someone. Slower speeds save lives.
Please drive the speed limit so everyone is safe. Learn more at togetherwegetthere.com.
Life can be stressful sometimes, but buying your new Subaru doesn't have to be. Subaru of Puyallup has you covered with over 300 new Subarus on the lot. Come in now so you can secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
It's Gee and Ursula. Boy, has it been a rough show for me. I have had News Boss open the entire time. So if you know,
you had to work.
If you know, you know.
Let me stop.
All right, let's get to it. You want to, Angela, start us off with the text message?
Okay, we were talking about FAFO parenting. Brett and Olympia. Hey, gang, great segment. I've been teaching middle school and high school science for more than 21 years. I have 3 children, 13 and 21. When kids mouth off or misbehave in class, I don't threaten them with a phone call. I told them, put your cell phone in my hand and make sure that it's on the page on the contacts with your parents. I've made a couple of calls to parents from the kid's cell phone right in class. In fact, I've had the kids dial it. They don't misbehave after that.
Okay. Hey,
All
Brett.
right, Brett.
Hey, Brett. I like that. Coming right from their kid's cell phone? Well done, Brett. Chris in Marysville says, gee, I definitely did not want my school to call home. When I was growing up, they still had corporal punishment in class. So oftentimes they would paddle me with the board and then call my parents. That was a double whammy because when I got home, I would get more of it too. That was no joke. And my cousin Darrell is here, and he literally, Chris, just told the story about Mrs. Lucas. And she had this paddle called Susie Q. And me and Darrell, because Darrell is older than me, he had her first, and then I had her after him. Please, hey, I'll take Susie Q. Spank me. Don't call home. But the double whammy, don't do both. Don't spank me, then call home, because then I'm getting a spanking here, and then I'm getting a spanking at home.
Wow.
All right, what do you got,
206 with a different perspective. Children should never be hit. Indigenous people witnessing the settlers coming west called them child beaters. Many societies find a way to make their point without violence. Might does not make right. All right.
And you know what, 206? I actually respect that.
Yep.
The Blue Angels cat lawsuit. Ryan in the 360 says, I really hope Angela is just playing devil's advocate because, wow.
Ernie and Kent, Angela is playing Ursula today, and it's killing me. This is nonsense. G is totally right. This country drives me crazy sometimes.
Mark in the Squally says, just let them post, G. Are any unpopular views allowed? I like air shows, but I've started to ask questions about the cost to taxpayers for the fuel and the impact on the noise. A lawsuit starts that discussion.
253, my dog was injured so severely from fireworks, we had to put him down. He was I don't know how to say this, a Chiweenie, and he was so startled that he injured his back. I'd love to be paid for the thousands we spent.
The T app, where women anonymously rate and review men. 360 says, my newly single friend has tea, and it's great. It's like voyeurism, basically.
Talking about Vegas tourism being down, Terry and Black Diamond, it's too hot in Vegas.
Man, 425, Vegas is too corporate. True.
Bobby in Parkland, I've been going to Vegas at least once a year for the past 17 years, and every year prices keep going up. It's gotten so expensive just to eat and park. I love going there, but I've started to slow down. And who knows how much longer I'll be able to afford it.
All right. Angela, let's go. It's time for the words to
All
live
right,
by.
we had this discussion and scenarios about dating, so I thought I would just springboard off of that, but I think it applies to everyone.
Okay.
If someone disappears without explanation, respect the message they didn't have the courage to say. Their silence said everything you needed to hear. Don't go digging for words they didn't care enough to give. Anonymous.
This is Angela or my Angela?
Anonymous.
Right? Man. All right, let me check in with my boy, Nick. Nick?
Well, maybe those Blue Angels gave some pets and neighbors grief while they heard the engines overhead too loud, albeit brief, but I don't hold hope for thinking that their problems will be solved, waving off the angels out for good to think that they'll dissolve. And just like kids who later want allowance from their folks, you can think it goes away, but that pipe dream goes up in smoke. So good luck with the inevitable Blue Angels and allowances upcoming out there. And have a good weekend, too.
Hey, Nick. Who's this? Is this Petty?
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yes!
You called it, man. I was not expecting you to get that.
Yes!
That was
Great
good.
way to end the
That's
week.
that Gen X representing.
Gen X. By the way, real quick, can I just tell you guys why I just kept giving Gen X love today?
Why?
In seriousness, Gen X had a rough week. Right?
Meaning?
Like Ozzy Osbourne,
Oh, yes.
Malcolm Jamal Warner,
Yes. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan before he became, before, like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, that Hulk Hogan. Yeah. It's been a rough week.
Before we had social media and found out
Chuck
what people are really
Mascioni.
about.
Yeah. Like, it's been a rough week. Hey, it's been fun, though. Angela,
It has been fun.
it's always awesome hanging out
Thank
with
you for thank you all for listening. And
All right.
yeah.
Good to have my cousin Darrell in today. Darrell, you see how, the cookies are baked in here?
He's blown away by the text
Yeah.
messages.
By the way, if you guys get a chance to look, I don't know if you can see him, but boy, I tell you, Darrell, hit that button. I don't know if you can turn it on and see Darrell, see what it looks like.
What button?
No, that's all right. It's on. That's all right. Darrell, look, if you look at him, he's 50 years old, y'all.
Wow.
No, wait. Yeah, he's 50. Boy.
I'm your older cousin.
Yeah, my older cousin. Black.
He does look better than you.
Yeah, black really don't crack. I can't believe I said that one. Hey, thank you, Chef. And thank you, Nick. You guys, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. We're grateful for all of you. We appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a Major League record for Ichiro.
Congratulations, Ichiro, from a grateful city and KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable.
Did you know that over the past 10 years, home values have increased the most during the first quarter of the year? So how much is your home worth right now? Check it out instantly at sellwithwest.com. Sure, there are other apps out there you can use, but most of them are national companies. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. If you're even thinking about making a move in 2025, go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. So here's what you have to do. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health. Audience